Wait. Wait. My OBS, not OBS. Oh, it wasn't OBS. What was it? It was the Stream Deck. Crap, it's been like forever since I streamed. I kind of forgot how things work, but I knew things were working. So maybe some things that I have set up won't be working because I think there was a new update with the OBS. And I think the new OBS update may have screwed up some of the things that I had. I don't know. We're gonna have to test this out as we go. And that's for better or worse. Wait, what happened here? Why do I not see? Huh. How did I... I wonder. Well, what is going on with this? I should have tested this. Before we started. Anyway, I'm so sorry, everyone. I'm so sorry. I actually had a what do you call this? I had a alarm clock timer that was set before stream, and it did wake me up. It did wake me up. I had it set for like 1 hour before stream, and it was what do you call this? The timer was set 1 hour before stream. I woke up, and I think I had like the snooze every 15 minutes. I usually have snooze for every 15 minutes, and snooze was... I think I hit snooze once, and I maybe accidentally hit the turn off alarm thing after the snooze, right afterwards. So that didn't help. That definitely did not help. Um, and then I think I just kind of slept. I thought I was fine since yesterday. What about the whole jet lag thing? Because yesterday I actually went through all afternoon and even most of the evening just fine without getting sleepy. But I guess I'm still a little bit jet lagged right now. And it's I seriously hate the jet lag. I mean, it's fine for the most part. It's for the most part the jet lag is okay. It's like what is it? It wasn't as bad when I first came back, because when I first came back, I think I slept around midnight or 1 a.m. and then I would wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning. And then I wouldn't be able to fall asleep again until like, what do you call this? Much later. Voice got older when I got back. Thank you, Mars. At least you're here. Sound so tired? Well, oh, you know what? I also forgot to put the new thing up. Anyway, yes, things have changed a little bit since I got back. I'm hoping this works. I honestly hope this works, and I don't know if it will work, but I had everything set up. All right. Okay. Well, here you go. Oh, it's right here. Ah, there it is. I was wondering. I was wondering why it wasn't showing up, and I thought it was because I had it turned off. But it's not turned off. It's actually here. Except the sensitivity isn't quite as high as I would like it to be. But then again, the sensitivity is calibrated for where I was actually, what do you call this? Awake. So not quite awake. Also, what is it? I don't know. This thing it doesn't pick up very well. It doesn't pick up very well when on my mic, so I kind of have to use the webcam for voice detection to trigger the thing, but not exactly for, speaking. Bouncy old man. Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing about being bouncy, and that's just gonna have to be a thing for now. So the bounciness, this thing that you see, again, thanks to my usual friend who that hooks me up for these kinds of things. Their credits are going to be at the bottom in the description. Um, did I what did I credit them as? The one who usually does the chibis. Hey, Kashix, they're over there. Yes, I'm an adult. I've always been an adult. What are you talking about? The voice, though. Okay, here's the thing. The voice is just me being super sleepy. Okay, the voice is just me. Okay, the emote buttons do not work like I want them to work, so I forgot which one is which. I forgot which one is which manually. I forgot which one's. Oh, even manually, I can't even do it because I have to like have this thing. You know what? You know my big mistake, other than oversleeping for almost 1 hour. Holy crap! I overslept for almost 1 hour. Can you believe it? That's like that's like corporal levels of oversleeping and missing stream schedule. But anyway, what was I gonna say? What was I gonna say? Wait, let me see if this works or not. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, this kind of works. Okay. Oh, right, this works. When not gonna lie, when I first heard your voice, now I'm generally thought there was an anime time skip in real life. Kinda. Honestly, there's kind of an anime time skip. Oh yeah, the voice. Let me explain the voice. The voice is just me being sleepy. Um, however, I did notice when I was like trying to get this thing to work that my voice tends to be a bit lower depending on well, not lower. It changes depending what I'm looking at. Since I'm basically my old man self right now, voice is gonna be naturally lower, but maybe not this low. This is like me actually just woken up like 10-15 minutes ago and being internally, hey, oh crap, I'm I missed stream by almost an hour, by more than an hour. Oh, maybe it wasn't such a good idea to, I don't know, uh put out the auto tweet saying I'd be live in 15 minutes because people did show up, and it's like I don't know if you're here anymore, but oh, excuse me. I'm also still recovering somehow from the. Did I mention I got sick during the last week of the trip? And probably there's a bad place to start for the whole trip this discussion and all that stuff. Uh, make sure, make sure if you meet friends on an overseas trip, ask everyone, ask everyone if they've been sick recently. And if anyone's been sick recently, cast them out into the shadows because holy crap, got sick really bad for about a week, which was basically the rest of my vacation. Basically the rest of my vacation. and got sick really really bad for the last week, and somehow still coming out of it. Now, okay, here's the thing. I got sick, yeah, mid trip, um, mid trip, last part of trip, what, however you want to, describe. Oh, that's the reason why I was missing something. Wait, do I have this PNG emotes that age? Oh no. Okay. Now let's see if this works. Now let's see if the Stream Deck thing works. Wow. Okay. Okay, Stream Deck, you really did not have to come up when I pressed those buttons. Boom, 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 boom. All right. Stream Deck buttons kind of. Oh crap! Where's my? That's not where you. Oh, I get. Oh crap! I pressed the home button. That's what happened there. That's what happened. Does this work? Yep. 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 Okay. Yeah. Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing. Um, as far as this is concerned, as far as what the current look is concerned, it takes like forever and a half for live 2D to be rigged and stuff. So in the meantime, and this was kind of the plan. Maybe not from the beginning, but this was kind of the plan anyway. When I came back, I kind of went through like a time skip. And I did feel like I really went through a huge time skip, especially after I got sick, because there was one day, okay, there was one day during that sick week where I stayed in the hotel room all day uh, to get better, and I don't know how much better I got, but the entire day I felt like I time skipped like 35 years. I time skipped like 30 something years on that one day, and it was appropriate, but at the same time it wasn't what I envisioned when for this, but the plan was to actually uh update after I got back. Does a time skip included a midlife crisis? Gosh, the time skip, yeah, I guess so. I guess the time skip did include a midlife crisis. I mean, I guess that was kind of obvious, right? That was kind of evident. I feel like, maybe is it? True, maybe actually, it probably did. It probably did. I mean, you probably saw my. Maybe, was it a huge change in attitude on Twitter? It was definitely a change in tone. It feels like a huge change in tone. Suddenly got a lot more real than I usually do on Twitter. Actually talking and stuff like that about things. So yeah, maybe I did go through a midlife crisis. I still am kind of in that midlife crisis stage, especially having gone and coming back. I think also, the reason why the midlife crisis happened was because of that last week of the trip where I got sick and I felt like I wasted time. Hey, workshop, welcome, welcome. Oh, Regress, I didn't see you there. Hey, yeah, what's up? Um, but yeah, no. Should I explain the midlife crisis now, or should I explain the midlife crisis later? I'm in better health than I was. What is it? What is today? You know what? When I heard the alarm earlier, I thought it was like morning already, and I would have to go to work. Remember, I still work weekend, guys. I work on Saturdays. Later is okay. Okay, I can explain the I'll explain it later then. Yeah. Anyway, uh, let me back up a bit. Let me arrange my thoughts, back up a bit, and figure out all this mess right here. Basically, what was it? Basically, so the plan kind of was to like come back older after the trip, and and then we're gonna be like this. I'm gonna be like this, um, pretty much permanently. Will the other model come back? I think sometime at some point. I mean, it's kind of reversible at this point, but this is my soul right now. The soul is old. The soul is wants to be a little bit more real. The soul also what do you call this? Better representation of what I'm going through right now, I suppose. Also, did I mention when I first revealed the design that this is gonna be closer to what it looked like? Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, if Tori was still around and if Tori is awake, she could probably confirm or deny that whether or not I actually look the same as here. But anyway, that's beside the point. That's beside the point. But yeah, back from the trip, and pretty much older. Uh, yeah. Also, oh yeah, there's also plans I wanted to do. We can talk about that later. Though I'm gonna have to be reminded to talk about that. But if you're subscribed to the vlog channel, excuse me, if you're subscribed to the vlog channel, you might be able to guess what's going on with that. But yeah. Anyway, the trip itself. Let me switch scenes here. Now, should I switch scenes now, or should I switch scenes later? I'll switch scenes later when I'm ready to put up the pictures. I got the pictures ready. Took me like a good 1, 2, 3. It took me the good entire week basically to pick and upload pictures, and I had to like make a new Google account for it. Well, I don't think I guess I didn't have to make a new Google account, but the thing that with the Google account is for me to upload it and link it so you guys can also see it. But I still had to pick pictures. I still had to pick pictures. There used to be a time when Google didn't count compressed pictures against you, but now they do, and that's super annoying. Super annoying. So I had to pick. I had to make sure I picked it properly, and imagine sifting through almost 4,000 pictures to pick 1,000 pictures that Google will allow you to put on online. Yeah, it's kind of tough. I try to limit myself to 20 pictures a day. 20 maybe let's say 20 or 30 pictures a day for the trip. I tried to limit myself to that. And that did not work out at all because my trip was about what how many days was it? 22 days. Though you can argue some days I didn't take as many pictures as others, but still that would have probably worked out to 600, maybe 400 to 660 pictures that I would have uploaded. That's still tough to pick from 4,000. And after a while, I was just looking at all my pictures like, yeah, there's if I skip around that much, it's not we're not gonna get anywhere. Especially because I took way too many pictures of foods and moss and plants and random artistic angles that you're not going to see on the stream today, or once I figure out how to make the photo albums public. Um, you're not gonna see it there either. Though I did take other random pictures of stuff that you might see. I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, but yeah, overall, trip was fun, and it also reminded me that I haven't been to Japan in about 4 years. Because let's remember this, um, pandemic happened in what 2020. 2020. It's now 2023, so that was 3 years ago. And the last time I went was in 2019. Now, technically, when I went to technically when 2020 happened, um, that's when the Olympics was gonna happen too, right? And I wasn't going to visit Japan during the Olympics, especially during the summer. Holy crap. No one wants to be in the country that you want to visit during the Olympics, summer or winter, it doesn't matter which one, because it's going to be busy. And depending on which country it is, it's going to be super busy. Like if the Olympics was held in, let's say, I don't know, the US, maybe it's easier to fit people there because US is huge and stuff like that. But if you try to fit it in some place like Tokyo, for anyone who hasn't been to Tokyo before, let me show you what Tokyo looks like from above. Okay, let me show you what Tokyo looks like from above. And we're also going to be changing scenes here because it's not going to it's going to cover the pictures are going to cover you guys if otherwise. So we'll go over here and photos. Are you visible? Should be visible. Why are you not visible? Because I have to re-click you. Is that it? Okay. Okay. I guess I need to put this over here so I can see things. All right. So if anyone hasn't seen what Tokyo looks like from above, this is what Tokyo looks like from above. I don't know if you can see the overall detail. But I haven't seen Tokyo from above yet either. This was my first time seeing Tokyo from above because usually when I flew before, I would fly into Narita, and Narita is basically countryside. Narita is basically in countryside, grass fields, rice fields, sparse houses, some buildings here and there, and you know, it's nice. It's nice. Like when you see Narita, you kind of see something like this. You kind of see something like this, even though supposedly it's like outskirts Tokyo, but it's not really part of Tokyo, but it counts as Tokyo somehow. I don't know. But this is kind of what you would expect when you see Narita from above, at least when you're flying in. But what I wasn't prepared for when I saw Tokyo from above for the first time is how much it looks like a ruined city. Look at this. I don't know if you can tell. I don't know if you can tell, but it looks like a ruined city. It looks like the apocalypse has happened, even though it technically has not. I mean, there's some green spaces here and there. Like you see this giant green space over here. I'm not exactly sure what that is. It could either be one of the shrines or the other thing I was thinking of. There's a few green spaces. Yeah, what does Japan look like Fallout New Vegas? Okay, to be fair, it's only Tokyo that looks like Fallout New Vegas from above. And you can do I have more pictures than this over here for that? No, I only uploaded one of the ruined pictures, but I have more ruined pictures. Let me upload that really quick because um at this point I'm like, you know what, let's just show you all the angles. Let me just show you all the angles that I have and why the heck it looks. Oh crap, maybe I shouldn't because I had to like process this particular image so that you can actually see it, because otherwise if I didn't process the image, let me show you the unprocessed image. Let me show you the unprocessed image of this picture because it is it definitely is hazier. So this is what this picture looks like unprocessed. It's a little bit hazy up top. You can't really see too much detail, but then if you process it a little bit, then you can see more detail here, right? Yeah, I need to schedule some streams where, oh crap. Wait, hold up. I need to copy the. I was wondering what there was no BGM. There was no BGM. We're gonna copy this one. We're gonna go over here. I thought there was a BGM here. And then we're gonna paste this reference, and now it's on. Now we got BGM. Nice. Okay. Anyway, but yeah, I'm gonna have to like schedule a couple of photo editing streams so to improve some pictures I have, and then we can talk more also when that happens. But yeah, Tokyo from above. Want to clean up the picture a little bit because there's so many buildings. It's so crammed. It's so crammed that I mean, from below, from on the ground, it doesn't look too terrible. It just looks like any big city, but you don't realize how big of a big city it is until you like get above it, and you can see some giant buildings in the background, which I'm assuming is where Shibuya, Shinjuku, the big central Tokyo areas are, like especially around back here. I'm guessing this is where the Yamanote is also. And then you forget that the rest of Tokyo outside of the middle, I guess is what you would call downtown. Anything around the Yamanote, which is the big train loop, subway loop, I guess. The Yamanote lives solely, mainly, I guess, in the center of Tokyo and maybe somewhat in the surrounding areas. And then you get Shinjuku, Shibuya, Tokyo itself, Ueno, all that stuff. Ueno, I don't think Ueno has giant buildings, now that I think about it. It's mainly Shibuya and Shinjuku. And I've only been to Shibuya this trip once. And there's a lot of construction still there that was probably there 5 years, 4 years ago. 4 years ago, because I also went there last in 2019. Shibuya is like bridges and stuff right now. I'm not sure what the heck is going on over there. Shinjuku, I've never actually explored, so I can't speak for it. I've avoided Shinjuku for the longest time, if only because I've heard stories of people getting lost in a station. And if you don't know anything about Shinjuku Station, apparently there's like 23 levels in Shinjuku Station alone of stuff, so you can get lost really easily there. Not to mention the confusing directions, which apparently that's a thing, and I would like to avoid as much as possible. Tokyo looks like my old Cars 2 playmat when I was first a kid. Ueno has this river that breaks relationship, if I remember, maybe. I don't remember if Ueno has a river. I've never seen a river in Ueno. Actually, I don't think I remember seeing a river anywhere in Tokyo. I've seen green spaces like this one, where there's like a forested area, there's also some large parks. Did you go to Ikebukuro? Yes, I did go to Ikebukuro. I mainly hung around the station and a little bit away from the station in Ikebukuro. I also met some other VTubers in Ikebukuro. We went to Torikizoku and did a little bit of karaoke. And I guess let's skip there for a second. There's a lot of pictures here. We'll go through this eventually. I also want to make a video of all this stuff eventually. Not eventually, will. Not eventually, will. I will make a video of all this stuff because there's a lot to talk about. And we're definitely not gonna go. We're not gonna be able to like cover it all on stream. We're not gonna be able to cover it all on stream, so there's a lot to talk about, and I want to make videos of it. Here's the thing with the videos though, you will not see them on this channel. The videos for the travel, the vlog stuff, you will not see on this channel. you will see that on the vlog channel. So if you want to see those videos, you will have to go to the vlog channel. I will make announcements for those on Twitter. I will make announcements for those on the community tab, but you will only see those in the vlog channel. What's going to happen here on this channel is I will still talk about those stories in streams and stuff, but because I'm now going to try to be making videos, actual videos about the trip and such, you'll see it over there instead. Well, what we'll do here is we'll go over the brief overview. We'll go. Oh, yeah. This was interesting. This was interesting when part of the hike where I got to and I stopped here. I stopped here, Wilson Stump in Yakushima, because if I tried to go to Yakusugi, Jomonsugi, yeah, Jomonsugi. If I tried to go to Jomonsugi, um, it would have taken me over 2 hours over stairs and rocks to get there, because apparently the rate is about 1 kilometer per hour, if not a little bit less than that. And I'm a slow hiker, okay? I'm a slow hiker as it is already. Everyone else was like 1.5, 1.75 speed of whatever the heck I was hiking. But I got to this part, Wilson Stump. I don't think I have the name anywhere here. Whoops. Censoring your face with your avatar is extremely fine. That was my state of mind, okay? That was my state of mind. That was my state of mind. Anyway, where's the Torikizoku? That was like in November. Oh, holy crap. I would have scrolled so far. There we go. We're skipping around quite a bit. We're skipping around quite a bit. But the day I went to Ikebukuro was the day I was just kind of, what was it? I really didn't have any plans on where to go and what to do for the majority, not the majority, kind of sort of the majority, but not really the majority. For the second week of the trip, I was having to fight my camera. And when I say I was having to fight my camera, I was having to fight my camera from falling apart. My camera's not that old. I think I got that thing either 2017 or 2016. I forgot already which one when it was. Was it 2000? No, I got it. I may have got it in 2017 or 18. But the camera works fine. It's just all the parts that are attached to the main body of the camera, the LCD screen, the rubber grips, that's all falling apart. The rubber grips did fall apart. I still have to call the camera company to see if they're willing to do a trade-in. If they're not willing to do a trade-in, then I do a different kind of trade-in with a camera shop and rebuy the same camera because they can't fix it or whatever. But anyway, the LCD screen on my camera was like actually on the hinges falling apart and stuff. And I'm lucky to not have lost a screw for that camera LCD screen. It's not the first time that's happened, by the way. It's not the first time. I think it happened also last year when I went to Canada. That's when it started falling apart, the LCD screen. But last year, I think I actually did lose a screw in the middle of that trip. So I had to like buy an overpriced screw and screwdriver online on eBay. And then I got that fixed. But then that was one side of the LCD screen. The other side of the LCD screen was falling apart this time. And the screws are tiny. The screws are hard to find in Japan, apparently, because you can't find eyeglass repair kits. I think supposedly eyeglass repair kits would have helped me fix it. But because it was so hard to find eyeglass repair kits, I couldn't I couldn't fix it easily. So I had to wait until that part of the trip, which is over here, when I went back to Tokyo to drop off some people off the to the airport, um, and go to Akihabara. Like you might know as Akiba as like anime mecca and stuff like that, and it still is. But also Akiba is, if you haven't heard, is dingy alleyways of shops that with electronic stores, electronic part stores, random electronic part stores. And that's where I found a screwdriver that would fit the screws. So I was able to find a screwdriver, tighten the loose screw, and that worked really, really well. But there's also a shop in Akiba that sells only screws. That sounds crazy, right? Anywhere else in the world, anywhere else in the world, US, maybe C, maybe Europe, wherever. You don't have a shop dedicated to just screws. Unless I'm wrong. Unless I'm wrong, you don't have a shop dedicated to just screws. But Akiba does. And the owner of that shop, there's only one screw shop, so I'm just gonna call him out right now. The owner of that shop was a little bit mean. The owner of the shop was a little bit mean. I'm not gonna lie. Well, and I was a little taken aback by it because Japanese people are in general anyway. Japanese people are in general at least outwardly nice, very helpful, but apparently also the owners of these random electronics parts stores are on the mean side. Or at least some of them are on the mean side. When I got the screwdriver, they were very helpful. They were very eager to help. But the screw shop owner was like, "You come to my screw shop. You don't even know what you want. Get out of here. Get out of here." Was my feeling when I talked to him. I even unscrewed the screw I just screwed back in the camera to show him what size it was, and I think he quickly figured out which size it was after showing him. But I also looked at the screws that he did have available, and the screws I needed like I think a flat head to like make sure the LCD panel was like bolted down, and he didn't have that, and it's like, and he was basically like in Japanese, by the way. No, that's all we got. That's all we got, and very very gruff about it. And the man does know his screws well. What I didn't realize was for the same screw head size, like you can have multiple screw heads with the same head size, but they're not all the same length. You get what I'm saying? You can have like one screw that's a little bit shorter than the others, or another's, or the same type of screw head that's a little bit longer to suit certain needs. And apparently mine was on the small side. If you try to put a long screw in my camera, it will fit, but it will stick out. So you need the appropriate length of screw to put in. Yeah, extremely niche thing to make a shop for. Well, I mean, there were also other shops that were a little bit more rounded. I say rounded, but I still like random electronics parts. Um, like there's a lot of shops dedicated to, what is it? Random stuff that you would put on your circuit boards, like shops that sell circuit boards. I don't know what kind of circuit boards, but they sell circuit boards, they sell fuses, they sell transistors. They also sell actual workshop screws, not the electronics kind of screws. There's also another shop that sells audio equipment and audio equipment that audio spare parts. Audio spare parts, like the inside, like if you have to replace the inside of a microphone, they have those. They have parts for those too. It's very strange, and you really have to know where to go. But yeah, I mean, after I got what I needed, and all I really needed was a screwdriver. The screws were like secondary, but it would have been nice to get the screws. So yeah. Uh, oh yeah, Mars mentioned the Hololive gotcha. I did see the Hololive gotcha. There were two of them actually. There were two of them. I think the more common one was this left one, the one that looks like the rubber the rubber Wolfie, the rubber Wolfie keychains. Those were the more common ones. I saw that in a few places. The one on the right, which I think is acrylic, I didn't see that one as much, or at least this was the only place I saw it. And I forget where this one is specifically. There's a Jack Frost one too. Yeah, it was the only Jack Frost gotcha I've seen. The Gundam gotcha, the Gundam bust, statue bust gotcha, interestingly enough, showed up in quite a few places. I don't know which Gundams they were specifically. You might be able to tell which one this is. Oh, it says Strike Freedom. But I think it's like different versions of Strike Freedom or some other gotcha, other Gundam stuff. I pulled a lot of gotcha this time around. I usually don't pull gotcha at all when I go to Japan, but I pulled a lot this time. I'll show you guys later. I'll make a stream dedicated to just the gotcha stuff, because or stuff in the Kiba, because I got 95%. 95% of the gotcha was in Akiba. The one gotcha I did not get in Akiba was in, where was that? The airport, actually. The airport. But they were all significant, and all the gotcha I got minus one. I did get one dud. You can probably call that a rare. And all the other gotchas I have were like basically SSRs. And it's like, wow, I'm actually getting the stuff I want and no dupes. I did not get any dupes in the gotcha. That is amazing, by the way. I would have expected at least one dupe from all the gotcha pulling I did, but I didn't get any dupes, which is great. Which is great. But Akiba has changed quite a bit, though. The feel of Akiba is a lot different than it was even 4 years ago. And 4 years ago, it was already getting busy. It was getting a little bit too touristy. But now, because of some buildings that used to be there that are gone, it feels a little bit different. I will say though, when I was going around Akiba and went to one of the camera shops to find screws and screwdrivers, because I thought they would have them for some reason. One of the camera shop, one of the electronic stores. Let's call them electronic stores because they're not camera shops. Even though the name of the store is Big Camera. One store is like Big Camera, the other one's like Yodobashi Camera. They do have cameras, but they're not focused on them. They're electronic stores through and through. Anyway, this was in Big Camera. This was in Big Camera, and apparently they had a VTuber equipment section, or at least recommended equipment for VTubers. I don't know if any of these on the back here are VTubers. I don't know if she's a VTuber, but they had a section like this, and mainly it's not what you would think. that they would be recommending, but it's basically all computer parts. Like, here is your capture card. Here is your, what is it? I think there's the capture card section, actually. Capture card section on this side. I didn't realize there were so many capture cards, but then there were like other capture cards besides Elgato? Really? I guess. Sure. So yeah, all different kinds of capture cards that are from who knows where, either Japan or outside Japan. But none of them are Elgato. Look at this. None of them are Elgato. And Elgato is what most people use for capturing their Switch games and PlayStation games and Xbox games and whatnot. If they're not on PC anyway. And of course, mics. You got the really expensive Shure. I don't know what the pronunciation is. But you have all the different varieties of mics at different price points, and so they had capture cards, they had microphones. I feel like they also had some voice software. I say voice software, but it looks like it's Vocaloid stuff, but I don't know why the Vocaloid stuff specifically are in the VTuber recommended section, because it's not exactly like, you know, some guys will try to make themselves sound like a girl, and Vocaloid doesn't really do that at all. I guess that's how big VTuber market is in Japan. I guess, maybe, question mark. I mean, I did see some random VTubers in Akiba that I've never seen before. Like, I think there was like 2 VTubers near the right inside the station, trying to, what was it? What were they doing? I forgot. I have a picture of it. Where's my picture of that? See if I can find it. I may not have it. Oh, maybe it's in this one here. Do I actually have that picture? Because I feel like I took a picture of a lot of random stuff, and that'll be one random stuff I took a picture of. Where are you, random VTubers that I saw? It was at the station. There are a lot, but they didn't get big enough outside Japan for us. Yeah, there's a lot of there's definitely a lot of other corpo, specifically corpo VTubers in Japan. Not what do you call this? There's not a whole lot of them, but there's enough of them where like, yeah, oh wow, there's you exist, and I would never know you. Which is not a dig against them. It's just, you know, it's just there's no way for them to get known outside of Japan, because they're only focused in Japan. You know what I mean? Yeah, I don't know. I forget which day it was specifically, and I cannot find it. Cannot find it, but there probably is one. Anyway, just realized the Miku figure hiding behind the microphone. Where is it? Oh yeah, there is one. There is one over here. This is a nice thing about photos. You take a picture of one thing, and then you look in the back at you look at the details of the photo, and then you find stuff that you didn't think you saw. Outside of VTubers pushing product and stuff like that, I remember it might have been this. It might have been also Big Camera, because I think it was also Big Camera. Love Live, Love Live, Aqua. I call them Aquars because that's how it's spelled, but apparently it's Aqua. They were apparently Love Live is still kind of sort of still alive, at least in the advertising space in electronic stores, because they were selling, I think it was headphones, not the wireless kind. It was the wired kind, but it might be wired. it might be wireless, but they still have, you know, the wires attached to the earbuds. It's not like the wireless stuff. Yeah. Love Live Uma Musume Idol Master is big. Idol Master was is still huge. I'm not sure if you saw this in passing. But this was Million Live. I don't know anything about Million Live. I stopped at Cinderella Girls. I stopped there, but this is Million Live, and there's definitely some fans of that. Uma Musume, I think there was a new season being advertised also. Season 3 of Uma Musume, which is probably not going to show up until next season, I believe. I don't know. I haven't even seen season 2. I saw season 1. I haven't sat down and seen season 2. But yeah, I was basically just roaming around Akiba trying to find stuff to repair my camera that day before going to Ikebukuro, which is where I also stayed. Um, but in Ikebukuro, apparently Ikebukuro is the rough-ish part of town, supposedly, at least compared to the rest of Tokyo. And you know what? I believe it because the first time I went to Ikebukuro, the first time I went to Ikebukuro in 2015, which was my first time in Japan, I was in a weird, very weird part of Ikebukuro where I was like surrounded by snack bars and stuff. Hey Reina, welcome. Yeah, this is going to be the new model moving forward, at least until the live 2D comes, and even if when the live 2D comes, you'll still probably see this. Here's the thing though, when I make my vlog videos, I will be using the PNGs, so keep an eye on that. Even when the live 2D is available for use, I will not use the live 2D for videos. Any vlog videos I make, it just looks weird. To be honest, I'm sorry. PNGs all the way. PNGs all the way. PNG though for now until the live 2D, and then maybe we'll go back and forth once when that's happened. But that's gonna take forever and a half. So yeah, yeah. Hey, I hate how I recognize a lot of things immediately with your Ikebukuro picks. Really? Really? Is it that recognizable? I mean, I kind of recognize some parts. The one weird part. There were two weird things that night in Ikebukuro. The second one I didn't take a picture of because it kind of just happened in the moment and it was very shocking. I didn't have any idea what was happening. But the first weird thing is this stretcher out in the middle of nowhere. Technically, it wasn't out in the middle of nowhere. It's right next to a elevator that gets you into Ikebukuro Station. You know, gotta be wheelchair accessible now. I think there was a time in Japan's history, at least in the past several years that I've visited, that elevators weren't quite as widespread, but they have to be widespread now because, you know, wheelchairs downstairs, that's not exactly the best thing. Probably some horror game mechanic. Well, no. Here's the thing though. There was actually an ambulance that showed up around this area. I didn't know where they were going, to be honest. There was an ambulance there. They were in this general area, but I wasn't close to them, so I didn't see them take the stretcher out. So I'm assuming the stretcher came from them. But I didn't see anyone being put into the stretcher. I eventually did see the stretcher being not taken out, not personally, but the stretcher did disappear when the ambulance disappeared. At this point, okay, at this point of the picture, there was no ambulance nearby that I noticed. At least it wasn't blaring. But an ambulance did show up before this, but they put it here randomly. I'm not exactly sure what happened. I'm gonna guess someone had a heart attack, and that's why this happened. because it definitely wasn't a fight. There was, at least not that I knew about. What did happen later that night before going to karaoke was that there was this one random guy in shorts. It was very vivid in my mind. There was this one random guy in shorts. They didn't really look like a hobo, but he was Japanese for sure. Um, had like facial hair that you don't usually see on Japanese, so I'm not exactly sure what he was. Probably a neat that went out. He was definitely very angry about something. I couldn't hear or understand what he was saying. He was very angry about something. I usually don't see people in Japan get angry publicly, so that was very strange. But also at the same time, it was Ikebukuro, so weird things happen in Ikebukuro. Apparently. Apparently. And basically, I don't know what his beef was, but he was arguing with some taxi driver, which was very strange because the taxi driver didn't really do anything. The taxi driver didn't do anything that I could tell. But he was actually yelling at the taxi driver and actually may have hit the car hood once before walking off. Yeah. That was the other weird thing that night. The what do you call it? The stretcher in the middle of nowhere was a lot tamer. Japanese punks maybe no, he wasn't Japanese. He wasn't a punk. He definitely looked like he was in his 40s or 50s. He basically looked like a loser. Honestly, he looked like a loser. Probably was a loser, but I don't know. He had beef about something. Sounds like America. Yeah, right, right. Which I wasn't expecting in Japan. What goes on in Ikebukuro stays in Ikebukuro. Right, true. I mean, okay, guys, let me just tell you this really quick. Let me just tell you this really quick. If you want to run into Yakuza knowingly or unknowingly, you do not go to Shinjuku and Kamurocho. Not Kamurocho. That's a Yakuza name. You don't go to Kabukicho to run into Yakuza. Yes, you can probably run into Yakuza there. However, you are more likely to run into Yakuza here in Ikebukuro, especially in the love hotel sections, especially in the snack bar sections, dingy alleyways. You will 100% run into one or two Yakuza any given night in Ikebukuro. In the main streets, maybe you'll also run into them, but it's not as obvious. It's more like in the alleyways. Yeah, it's definitely a weird. It's definitely the weird part of Tokyo, where tempers are for some reason high. I don't know if that's true for Shibuya or Shinjuku, but definitely here is yeah, it's a thing. It's a thing. I've only been to Ikebukuro twice, and this is the second time, and both times were weird. So, Durara was a warning this entire time? Possibly true. Elderly people in case of emergency. I know, no, the stretcher definitely was not there in case of emergency. They were responding to something. I just didn't see anyone be put in the stretcher, and the stretcher did disappear, by the way. I just didn't see anyone. But yeah, Ikebukuro. That's where I met some other VTubers, and just took some random pictures. Yeah, it looks nice. It looks nice and all that. I'm just glad I got some really decent night shots. But I was basically walking up and down Ikebukuro trying to find some people. What is this over here? I think this might be Omurai's shop, and they have their Omurai's mascot over here. At first, I think I took this picture because I thought she looked like a VTuber. She may not be a VTuber, but her name is Fuyuri. No, Fuwari. Fuwari. Something something Fuwari. Yeah, if you go to Ikebukuro and run into this omurai shop, let me know how it is, because I didn't try it because I was gonna eat yakitori that night. They do have the vending machine outside for what you want to order, so just keep in mind. Keep in mind. Kamikata Fuwari. I can't read kanjis, but I can read the I'm getting better at the kana part because I've been drilling myself. I've been drilling myself in kana practice for the past week because I'm gonna try to be a little bit more serious with my Japanese studies now compared to what I used to do before. I didn't really study Japanese. It was more like whenever I'm in Japan, that's where I kind of learn things. But now I actually am trying to be a little bit more active about it because I do kind of want to, if not work and live there, then I want to try to at least do a 3 month stay and be there as anonymously as possible during those 3 months. But those are plans. Anyway, that was one side of Ikebukuro, and then there's this other side of Ikebukuro that I've never been to before, and apparently this is the rougher side of Ikebukuro. I don't know if you can tell. I can't tell. I can't tell. It looks just like any other place, but west entrance area. There were a lot of people sitting on, what do you call this? A fence? The street barrier fence. I don't know if they were waiting for people, but that's where a lot of people were. They definitely look like younger people, and I also waited there. I was, and I, yeah, didn't see anyone there. We eventually just met up at the yakitori place, and I do have other pictures of the yakitori place, food and stuff like that, but I cannot show them just yet because I had to like edit them very very heavily because people and stuff like that. People and stuff like that. But the yakitori that we got was pretty darn good. Um, Apparently, we ordered quite a bit of chicken skin. I mean, I'm okay with chicken skin. I like chicken skin. But we ordered a bit of chicken skin, and I'm not a fan of liver. We also ordered a bunch of heart. But yeah, people. There's some people you might recognize here, some people you may not recognize here. So overall, nice people. Definitely nice people. Fun. Wish we had a little bit more time to hang around, but we only had this one night. Yeah, Melky was there. Melky was there. I don't know how that happened, but Melky was there. We also had Connie over here. I don't remember if anyone know. I don't know if anyone remembers Connie, but Connie was here. I sat right next to Connie, and yeah, we got some very unexpected faces here. That I will say that much. Something I will say that much. So we basically what we did was we went to yakitori, and we went to karaoke, the Joy Sound, like later. But here's the thing: we didn't realize there was another Torikizoku in the same building as the karaoke place. And it's like, what? We could have gone to this one instead, and we could have just gone up a few floors instead of walking. But walking's good. Walking's good. It helps you with the digestion. So if we try to sing right after eating, I don't think it would have ended up so well. But that's okay. That's okay. But yeah, in the karaoke place, they had a special apparently. So there's a special with the HoloLive collaboration with Joy Sound, and depending on there's like drinks that you can order, and when you order the drinks, you can get a random a random, I get card coaster. I'm not exactly sure what it was, of certain people, and we all got three drinks, three different drinks eventually. I think one of them was like pineapple. They're all mixed drinks of some sort. I forgot what mine was, but I know it had like pineapple. Another one was like mainly ramune, and another one was mainly lychee. And I got toa. I still have that, by the way. But I don't know. This is a coaster. It kind of looks like a coaster, but it's probably like a card. But that's what I got. So you don't really know what you're gonna get because it's all in these gold foils. So it's like totally random. I think some other people got pekora. So that's pretty nice. Anyway, we kind of skipped all the way to the Ikebukuro night. So let's skip all the way back to the beginning. Let's skip all the way back to the beginning. Oh no. You're seeing my bougie plane seat right here. Which, by the way, I did not pay full price for this. I paid like half the price of economy seating for the bougie seat. Because award points. That's what happens when you have a credit card that you actually pay off and actually, can use points in. However, the points are super hard to use because these seats get reserved very very quickly. This is business class, by the way, not first class. It's business class. Apparently, first class is slightly better than this. I don't know. I don't know if it's worth the price though. But let me just walk you through ANA business class really quick. This is my second time doing this, by the way. This is my second time doing this business class thing. The first time was 2019, and that was really, really nice. I tried to do vlogging in 2019. It didn't work out too well, so doing it again. But when you first get into the business class, um, it's kind of funny because it does feel very fancy. But you're given an option of having like a really fancy cup of really fancy plastic cup of orange juice, or it's either wine or champagne, but it's some sort of alcoholic drink. And let me just tell you off the bat, if you can drink alcohol, do not drink alcohol while you're flying. Now, I say that, but everyone's a little bit different. But I say that because the last time I did that, I got a really, really bad headache. And the bad headache did not go away until maybe like 1 or 2 days after I landed. So I can only think that came from the alcohol because usually I'm fine, jet lagged, sleepy, tired, but fine otherwise after landing. But alcohol made it so much worse. It's so much worse. But I got the orange juice instead. Got the orange juice instead. The the seat comes with slippers that you can take home if you want to. And I don't know if anyone here has been on a long haul flight, like overseas flight, but you really don't want to be in your shoes the entire time. At the very least, take off your shoes when you're on a really long flight. Be comfortable. Shoes are not comfortable. The slippers are an extra, but however, the slippers are almost a necessity when you go to the restroom. So just keep that in mind, okay? You get the pillow, you get the blanket, which in I think you I think you get the blanket in general, in regardless of what class you're in. But the pillow is usually something you would have to ask is if you're in economy. I think in premium economy you do have a pillow default. The few extras that you get here in business class is the slippers, disposable slippers, and a really fancy bag with stuff in here, like a face cream, toothbrush, toothpaste, a really plastic comb that you're gonna toss out anyway. But the real prize here is the bag because I don't know why. I have one of these. The other one I gave away because you get one going and coming. So anyway, the space is nice. You have this like I guess desk area to your side, and it's like very fancy. The seating area. So you can probably see there's like two compartments up here. The top compartment is where you're gonna like put your feet when you're sleeping, and the bottom one is like the stowage area. You don't stow stuff at the top because of that apparently that falls apart really easily, so don't do that. But eventually you can like lay the seat flat, and then you can sleep actually flat and not, you know, at a 30-degree angle like in most places or less. But yeah, here we go. That's basically the seating arrangement as far as that goes. Barely fit my shoes down here though. I don't know if I was supposed to put my shoes here, but I assume they don't want me putting it on the floor when taking off, so that's what it is. Oh, you might notice this thing on the side over here. That is apparently the bed mattress. It's a really thin mattress, by the way, but the mattress is supposed to go on the seat when you go to bed. And I don't know if it makes that much of a difference, to be honest, but it's a thought that counts, I suppose. It's a thought that counts. But then here's a really fancy part, right? The fancy part is when they give you all the really fancy snacks and stuff. I don't even remember what this is. This was like I think tomatoes and mushrooms, and then you have here like bread, beef, and for some reason orange on top. What is this combination? I don't understand. I don't understand this combination, but it's there. It's there. That was the pre-meal snack, I guess. And there's nothing special about this. You can get this juice specifically in any class, I feel like. But this is the kabosu juice, which is their lime, I think. The kabosu is probably their lime. You hear about yuzu a lot, but you don't hear about kabosu a lot. But this is their lime, especially in Kyushu. Kyushu is known for the citrusy stuff. So anyway, mealtime. In mealtime you actually get things in courses, unlike most of the other classes where you get only one thing and that's it. But yeah, in the business class you get courses here. This is the appetizer. Appetizer has a salad with sashimi and some other vegetables up here that I think are like steamed or something. And then this down here is like some beef with radish and like ponzu, I think. I'm not exactly sure. Um, a mushroom, maybe like a really thick mushroom. This white thing is a little hard to see, but this is, I think, squid or something. Like a really nice, snappy squid. And the really fancy tamagoyaki. And I think that's just radish down here. That's just radish. And the peeled small tomato, because why? I don't understand. I'll be honest, I don't understand. The meal itself, though, the main meal, you can reserve a meal ahead of time, and I just reserved the Japanese meal. There's a Western meal, but I got the Japanese meal. And Japanese meal is like fish with some potatoes and vegetables, and then you got the rice in one hand, the miso soup on the other hand, and then the pickled veggies over here as a palate cleanser. The fish was very good, but it was also very soft. Almost felt like it was overcooked because it should be a little bit firmer, but it's still nice overall. Still nice overall. And in between meals, if you're still hungry, by the way, if you're still hungry between meals, you can order some random stuff off a menu. Like you can order curry, you can order corn soup, you can order some other soup, you can order fancy cheese and crackers and whatnot. I decided to get the ramen. The ramen is vegan, by the way. It's weird. Well, not vegan. The broth is probably not vegan, but there's no meat here. And it's just noodles, like really, really thin, soft noodles. Not the best quality, not the best type for this thing, but that's what we got. And some ice cream. How does the burdock root taste? No, the round thing over here is not burdock. That is lotus root. Lotus root is pretty common, to be honest. But lotus root is firm, and I think what's the texture of lotus root? The texture of lotus root. Honestly, if you try to cook that thing to oblivion, it doesn't soften up that much. So the lotus root is firm, like a half cooked potato is probably the best way I can describe it. But it is also soft like a decently cooked carrot. That's I'll be honest, lotus root for me personally is only there for texture. Flavor wise, it has no flavor other than what you put on it. But yeah, lotus root is nice. I like burdock more though. At least burdock has texture and flavor. Burdock is. Do we have any examples of burdock here? I don't think we have any examples of burdock in these pictures. Oh, we kind of do. Okay, so this was brunch slash breakfast, which basically they serve 2 hours before landing. The whole flight, by the way, was about 14 hours, which is weird because it's 14 hours going to Japan, but coming back from Japan, it's like 11 or 12, or maybe it's still 14, but it didn't feel 14. It felt much faster. It felt much faster. But burdock, you don't usually see them in this shape, but you see these two dark vegetables down here, right on top of on the fish. That is a burdock, and burdock is related to a carrot. So you would expect carrot texture, and it kind of does have carrot texture, but usually it's cooked firmer. It's cooked firmer, I feel like. If it's not cooked firmer, then it's firmer in general. Flavor though is a lot more savory, earthy, very earthy. Where carrot is sweet, this is earthy, and that's not a bad thing. That's nice. I actually like it quite a bit. I actually like it quite a bit. And then you get like this block of rice. Not sure why this particular presentation, but they do a block of rice for breakfast. And then you have the salad, then you have the steamed mushrooms with salmon roe because we fancy up here. And also of course you get the miso soup. Get the miso soup. But yeah, courses and really fancy food for business class. So if you ever have a chance to fly business class, the food is good, but honestly the best part, and I don't have it here, I do have a video of it, so I'm gonna upload the video of it when I get to it, um, on the vlog channel, by the way. I'll upload that video. The best part is just the seat. The seat honestly is the best part of business class because the seat, you can lie down flat, right? That's the one thing we all wish on a international flight is to lie down flat, or at least as flat as possible, or at least in a decent recline. Premium economy is pretty good because I hear you can recline pretty well on there, where it's like it doesn't feel uncomfortable. If you've ever been on economy on any flight, international or domestic, you know those things don't go back very far. And they go back a little farther in international, at least for uh, most other international airlines, and not American airlines in general. American airlines in general are terrible, absolutely terrible. Never ever use them unless you have no choice. Unless you have no choice. But most other international carriers will at least have a decent what do you call it? Have a decent leaning economy seat. ANA and not there's no exception of that. And I did fly economy with them before until I didn't. So anyway, flight was pretty darn good, pretty restful. It's just nice being able to like have a decent sleep on there. That's the main thing. And some pictures are a little bit out of order, but basically ended up in Shinagawa for the stay. And this place had a really weird system. Ignore the churros over here. I never got the churros, but apparently churros are. I don't know if that's a recent obsession, but I saw a lot of mention of churros in Japan this trip, and I'm not exactly sure why. Have churros been a thing, and I just never realized it. I know kebabs were a huge thing for the longest time, but churros, that's also a thing apparently. But however, if you're used to the Mexican churros like being so long, like 2 or 3 feet long, um, churros apparently in Japan are like 3 to 6 inches long at best. They're tiny. They're extremely tiny, and they're Japanese size basically. They're Japanese size and probably overpriced for a Japanese size. I mean, it is what it is. 500 yen for a churro, that's kind of expensive. I'll be pretty honest. Even if you compare it to North American or Mexico prices, that's kind of expensive. You only knew the existence of churros from Japan? Really? Man, okay. Anyway, so when I got to Tokyo, stayed in this capsule hotel. I don't usually stay in capsule hotels, but I was traveling with someone else at the time. So for the first 2 weeks, I was traveling with someone else, and they really wanted to try sleeping in a capsule hotel. So okay, I'm gonna reserve a capsule hotel, and this is where we're staying. Now, this is not unusual for a capsule hotel or hostel type of situation where you would have different floors for different things. But in a capsule hotel specifically, there are men's floors and there are women's floors. Now, notice that there are more men's floors than women's floors. That's probably because the type of people that usually use capsule hotels are businessmen, the salary men. They stay here because they don't want to go home, can't go home, don't have a home, and it's mostly men, not women, that use these places anyway. So 2 floors for the guys and 1 floor for the girls. And then it says bathroom here. That's a little bit of a mistranslation. I think it technically says ofuro. So this is there's actually a not an onsen but a sento. So like an actual like public bath floor, which is nice. Which is nice. I try to reserve a lot of places that had like public bath in their facilities because those are really nice whenever you come to Japan. Big tip, big tip. See if they have like a sento or onsen in the place that you're staying. It's not going to be that much more expensive, surprisingly enough, but it does beat just having a regular shower a lot. So look those up. Look those up. They are worth it. They are worth it. And this place was honestly not bad. In the Sento, depending on the place, you might get vending machines that you can, what do you call this? Vending machines that you can like get stuff from after your bath. Like the typical thing is milk, and there's like different flavors of milk. You have regular milk, you have chocolate milk, you have vanilla milk. I don't know if you can taste the difference between regular milk and vanilla milk. I didn't get either of them, at least not while I stayed here. And there's some other stuff down here also. There's also mango milk, by the way. Mango milk is I've tried once elsewhere, and that was actually pretty good. Mango milk is pretty good. Why is there always a milk vending machine in Sandos and Onsens? I honestly don't know. I honestly don't know. I've never bothered looking it up. I just kind of accepted that it's a thing. But milk vending machines are interesting because you usually only see them in sentos and onsens, or at least places with sentos and onsen. But yeah, milk. I mean, I tried it a couple of times. It was. I'm not sure what I expected. I got plain milk once. It just tasted like plain milk. It didn't really do anything to my body temperature. I didn't feel that refreshed. But I got mango milk one time at a different place much later into the trip, and that was really good. That was actually really good, the mango milk. But honestly, if you just pick any random drink that to cool you down, I think it's fine. But I don't know why milk specifically is a thing. Yeah, I just don't know why it's a thing though, right? Why milk? Why milk specifically? But if you're not the type to get milk, you can also get sparkling water. There's a lot of sparkling water. There's the, I think for me personally, if you ask me what you get right after a hot bath, I would recommend getting the sports drink. The sports drink, the Pocari Sweat, the Aquarius, or I guess in this case, Sports Up. Though there's Pocari Sweat down here. I would recommend getting either of those because you probably lost some electrolytes in the bath. To get taller, I guess that only works if you're a kid, you know. If you're not a kid, it doesn't work that well because adult don't grow so much anymore. You know, adult don't grow that much anymore. I don't know if you realize that. Yeah. Anyway, anyway, tea, water. What is this? Arginine? What? Oishi. Mets Arginine 5. What is this? I don't understand what this is. Lifeguard, I think, is basically Mountain Dew. And you also have milk cocoa. Chalky milk after a good bath sounds nice. It probably is, actually. It probably is. Lifeguard? I think it's Lifeguard. Royal Jelly Mount. Well, I think it's like Royal Jelly Mountain Dew. That's basically what Lifeguard is. And then you have like cold hot chocolate. Well, I say hot chocolate, but it's actually cold. The peach drink's actually pretty nice though. Pocari Sweat, I do like my Pocari Sweat. Oronamin C drink. I guess it's a vitamin C drink. I've had quite a few vitamin C drinks this trip, only because I was sick, and all of them were carbonated for some reason. I don't understand why. I don't like it, but they were all carbonated for some reason. Anyway, there is those. What is Ornament C? Is it carbonated? It better not be carbonated. Anyway, let's see what they have in the milk section. They have regular milk. What is this one? Does it say? Uroku. I have no idea what kind of milk this is. Hello, Lucino. Wait, did you change your name? Did you change your name? I feel like you. I felt like you changed your name. There's also this R1 milk thing. I don't know what this R1 milk thing is. Is it like a? vitamin fortified milk. They all cost roughly the same. They all cost 160 yen. So there can't be that many vitamins added to this R1 milk, whatever that. There's a lot of stuff missing here. Did they just not restock? I just noticed this. They probably just didn't restock. Anyway, I can't show you the bath section because bath. Though I did try to take pictures when people weren't around, but the times I did try to go down, they were cleaning it, so I was like, crap, I can't do it. I can't do it. Milk or yogurt type? They're milk, though there are vending machines where you can also get yogurt drinks. There are vending machines where you can also get yogurt drinks. Anyway, first meal in Japan when I was trying to like find food and stuff, ramen. And this is a very local ramen shop. The reason why I say it's also a very local ramen shop, Yokohama traditional noodle, I think is what they're called. At least that's what the English here says. They speak no English. Then the guys in the back here, the two guys in the back here speak no English. I don't think there was any English on the vending machine itself, which I was not able to take a picture of because I didn't think about it at the time. 11 a.m. to 2 a.m. At least there's katakana, yeah. Keep in mind though, I haven't been to Japan 4 years before this trip. And so I was slowly turning on my Japanese brain cells for reading and speaking, and didn't really have I wasn't quite up to the task really quick. Really quick. But I got the which one did I get? So quail egg and big egg. I don't think it's any of these ones that they advertise at the front. They have other variations of it. But basically the ramen in this particular place in Shinagawa, really good, by the way. Really good. It's like a very, very thick chicken broth. Thick and creamy chicken broth. Usually, I don't know, most people when they think of ramen, they think like tonkotsu, right? Because that's the thing right now, tonkotsu ramen. But chicken broth ramen is also a thing. However, I don't think I've ever had chicken broth ramen this thick and creamy. Like, holy crap, it was so fatty, but it was also so creamy that you don't really notice the fattiness too much. But it's good. It's really good. And this is a local ramen shop. This is a local ramen shop in the area, by the way. And I think what threw me off a little bit with this ramen, other than how thick the soup was, the noodles were also super thick. I don't know if you can tell. The noodles are thicker than your usual ramen noodles, and they also have a little bit of veggies over here, which is why. What's that amount of veggies gonna do to me? Absolutely nothing. But they have veggies with the ramen, the seaweed strips and the nori strips. Very, very helpful when trying to change things up a little bit in the bowl. But overall, the shop is pretty darn good. Would recommend if you're ever in this area of Shinagawa, where the Smart Stay Shizuku is, where I stayed at the time. This place is pretty interesting because it's a capsule hotel, but the capsule hotel also has like a manga section. And within the manga section, I don't know if I took a picture of it. The lounge area has a bunch of manga reading material, but also in the lounge area there is a women's only, apparently women's only section. I don't know why it's women's only, but it's like a tiny part of the lounge. Yeah, they have a lot of manga. I didn't try to open any of them because I wouldn't be able to read them. But I guess they also had Yuru Camp, and they also had advertisements for the third season of my head's probably in the way of that. They had also advertisements of the third season of Uma Musume in places. But yeah, it's a lot of manga. Let's see, what can we see any? Oh, what is this? Koi? I don't think I recognize that, but they also have crap, was Kiniro. What was this? It's an old one. I forgot what this one was called. Which the one anime? Which was the one series that has a bunch of blondes in it? It's specifically about blondes. Slice of life anime with blondies. Anyway, they have that one here too. They also have Bochi, which I didn't realize at the time. I probably should at least flip through it. They also have Eurocamp here, which is nice. I guess this must be the slice of life section. Kiniro Kunpaku? I don't know if that's what it was. But there's a slice of life section apparently. And this must be the guys manga section. They got Dragon Ball. Do they have Dragon Ball? Let me see. They posted it on the wall, but I don't know if this particular section has Dragon Ball. They have Baki. I think. I think this is Baki. Yeah, I think they have Baki. No, I don't see Dragon Ball in this particular section. Yeah, they have Way of the House Husband here too. 12 volumes. I don't know if that's up to date, but they have 12 volumes of it. Light novels, I think it's mainly manga. I don't think they have any light novels, but they have a bunch of Baki for some reason. Multiple things of Baki, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, this might be the omnibus. That's probably why there's not as many. And then these are the actual stuff. I don't know. Has anyone heard of Worst? I don't know anything about Worst, but that's a thing here apparently also. Let's see, what's on the other shelves? Not this shelf. Can I see anything on this shelf? Nope, it's too low resolution. Oh, they have Naruto on this shelf. That's where the shonen section is. Dragon Ball is probably on this area. Dragon Ball is probably on these shelves over here. But I see Naruto. What else is over here? Is that JoJo? That's not JoJo, is it? That's not JoJo. There's something over here. I can't. It's too blurry. It's too blurry. Anyway, that was the first night. And then there weren't any real plans to do anything the next day, so just kind of roamed around. Got some pancakes from Flippers. Flippers apparently had a Halloween party thing. I had a Halloween special for their pancakes, and I didn't realize this at the time. But these three things over here, it kind of comes as a set. So you have like 3 different Halloween type pancakes, very Instagrammable apparently. At least that's what the lady was doing on the table next to mine. So that was interesting. But got some, not the fluffy pancakes, not the souffle pancakes that you would expect. Tried a different thing this time because I got souffle pancakes from here before and they were really good. But this was breakfast and I needed something a little bit more filling. So tried their actual breakfast menu, which is regular pancakes, which is still really, really good. And I hate avocados, but the avocado here didn't feel too slimy or eggy, so I was okay with that. Avocado, salmon, pancakes, and some salad. And I guess pistachio sauce on the little thing. Is pancakes with salad a normal thing? I feel like Japan does salads with everything. That's just kind of how it is. I don't understand it. But the salad is supposed to go with the avocado and salmon here. Keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. The plate setup, though, if you were to ask me, is very similar to what you would probably get at a Denny's, except Denny's is not fancy. But I can see this being served at Denny's if they had a fancy menu at Denny's. That's what I'm saying. Where I'm from, salad doesn't work with pancakes. It usually doesn't. Here, though, the person I was traveling with got a different thing. So they had an option for English muffins or pancakes with their with their meal, and they got the pancakes, and this one's the souffle pancakes. However, I don't think I've seen souffle pancakes with avocado, and I don't know if that's egg, but there might be egg here also. Avocado, egg, and some sort of sauce, which is not cheese, by the way. Some fries, some salad. Very fancy. Chicken does go well with waffles, true. But just to give you an idea on how thick these pancakes were, they were this thick. They're definitely not your IHOP thin pancakes. These are like twice the thickness of IHOP pancakes, which is great because I've actually felt like I was biting into something. But it was also so fluffy, light and fluffy pancakes. Holy crap. I don't know why. I don't know why. But there was also a Asian supermarket. Not really a supermarket, but an Asian quote unquote grocery store next to the Flippers, which I don't think was there 4 years ago. At least I don't remember it being there 4 years ago. But having no plans that day, just kind of like roamed around, see what they were up to, and apparently they sell stuff that you don't get in Japan. So the Korean noodles, the Shin ramen is here. If Japan was closer to 100 yen per dollar, the Shin ramen would be slightly more expensive than I'm used to, but because it's roughly because we're the exchange rate is what it is, it's about the same. If I think about it, yeah, slight about the same price as you would get them in the U.S., as well as all the other random Korean noodles. There's also the Philippine stuff. We have the bagoong, which apparently looks like to be way too expensive at 650 yen per thing. They do not cost that much. They definitely do not cost that much. Bakutet. Bakutet, Malaysian laksa curry. You also have some other stuff here. Shin ramen. That has to be the most badass name for ramen ever heard. Well, it's also Korean, so I don't know what they mean by Shin ramen in Korea. And if you're from Indonesia or Malaysia, we also have the kokita nasi goreng fried rice seasoning, as well as the barbecue marinade, and the mi goreng fried nizu seasoning, soto ayam, ayam goreng, all the Indo foods. I don't know what these prices are in your place, but I'm assuming this is like much more expensive here than you would ever find them in your local country. Just saying. Export quality nasi goreng. So if you have any specialty sea and Korean and maybe even Chinese stuff that you want to get here in Kichijoji, the Asian grocery store in Kichijoji, you can find them. Dry curry. What is this? Rendang. Rendang padang. I think that's what it says. I can't tell. Oh, and my favorite, the mai ploy from Thailand, the curry paste. Definitely much more expensive than I'm used to. But if this is your only option, then this is your only option for that kind of stuff. Yeah, rendang padang dry curry seasoning. This is basically your sea ingredient stores. And Kichijoji, for anyone who hasn't ever heard of Kichijoji, Kichijoji is just a regular neighborhood in Tokyo, but it's got some nice stuff going for it. You won't see too many tourists around here. Tourists will still filter through here. But sites and stuff, there's really nothing to see around here. But if you do want a place to go to try the fluffy pancakes, most people go to Shibuya because that's where most people are, and they do have a lot of shops over there that serve that. But Kichijoji is a nice, quiet neighborhood where you can go to also try the fluffy pancakes, as I've shown already. So yeah, quiet place, go to Kichijoji. If you wanted to be busier, bustling, and crowded, you go to Shibuya. Do not recommend it unless you don't know. But now you know. Insider information right there. This will be my second time to go to Flippers in Kichijoji. It's a pretty nice place, by the way. It's a pretty nice place. Would recommend 100%. And as I was looking at the vending machines, I'm reminded that it is, what do you call this? It's getting to be fall because you have hot here. You don't just get cold drinks from the vending machine. You also get hot drinks. So you can get the hot coffees, hot cocoa, and most importantly, the hot corn soup. Hot corn soup only in Japan because corn soup is a thing for some reason. Also, I don't know why I took a picture of this, but this was in Haneda Airport. Was going to check something. Oh yeah, that was the thing. That was the reason why. That was the reason I was wandering in random places in Tokyo that day. So there's a onsen in Haneda Airport. There's an onsen in Haneda Airport, and I think they were gonna be cleaning it from 10 a.m. to about 1 p.m. So needed to burn some time. So got the pancakes and walked around a bit. And then when I was almost close to time, went to Haneda Airport, and on the way to the onsen in Haneda Airport, you see this. The Pokemon boxers and I guess Goku boxers. I and Kamen Rider boxers apparently. I don't exactly know, but that's a thing. I don't know where you can get them if you're ever interested in any of them, but just know they exist. Just know they exist. But in the second day onsen Villa Fontaine, this is where you go if you want to have an onsen experience in Tokyo. Onsen, by the way, not sento, though it is a sento setup. It's onsen water, and there's like one bath in there I can't show you a picture of because no photos or videos allowed in the bath, as it should be. Um, Basically, the setup in this onsen place, Spa Izumi Tenku no Yu is what it's called. But this is in Haneda Airport. You have a receiving area. You're supposed to take off your shoes before you go onto the wooden part over here. And there's like a bunch of shoe lockers where you put your shoes in. And you're supposed to take the key that goes with that shoe locker because that key is what they use to bill you after you're done with your bath. You don't pay beforehand, you pay after you're done. So there's like a. So I didn't have a picture of reception, but anyway, there's there's a reception area. They tell you how much it costs, what you want to do, what you want to, what you like basically tells you what to expect and what you can get in the bath and stuff like that. They also set your keys up so that it like your check in, check out kind of thing. And this particular onsen place in Haneda Airport is not cheap. It is not cheap. I think it costs like I th- I want to say almost 5,000 yen per person. Normally a cento, okay, if you just go into a regular cento in any old neighborhood, you're probably not going to pay more than 5 to 600 yen just for the bath itself. Now, if you have to like rent a towel and get soap and whatnot, that's gonna cost you extra, and then you're gonna climb closer to 1,000 yen for the visit. But this one is like 5,000 yen. This one's like 5,000 yen, but with that 5,000 yen, you get like access to saunas, you get access to baths, and you also get access to I think it's mainly saunas and baths. Let me show you the pictures they have though on let me show you the pictures they have on the website so you know what to expect. I'm also going to close that really quick just in case something shows up. Villa Fontaine Onsen. So there are public pictures of the place if you ever want to see what they have to offer, and that's what we're going to take a look at. And I think I can show this now. This one. So Villa Fontaine Grand Onsen. Facility and service, restaurants, experience, concept, guest room. I think it's this onsen. Onsen open 24 hours. However, there is a catch to it. From 10 to about 12:30 p.m. They're closed. At least the bath areas are closed due to cleaning. So if you're there during that time, you can still hang out, but you'll probably be hanging out in the resting rooms and whatnot. Credit card, but so one of the big things I've noticed in Japan this past trip compared to all other trips from before is that there's a lot more cashless options for payment compared to even 2019. And I'm assuming that's because COVID bumped up that infrastructure to allow more credit card payments, more options to use your IC card, the Suica and Pasmo card types to be used in a lot of different places. Like before, you can use the IC cards to pay for stuff in the airports and convenience stores. But now you can also use those in some regular shops that do participate in that. Credit cards are more of a thing now than they ever used to be. So you are now able to use credit cards in more places now than you ever were, and they accept more different credit cards than they ever used to be. Like I have an American Express card. 4 years ago, most places wouldn't even accept that. They would only accept Visa and Mastercard, but now they accept all of that plus WePay, all the Chinese payments. The only ones I've noticed that they don't take is Apple Pay and Google Pay. So if you're reliant on Google Pay and Apple Pay, they don't take those. So just have your credit card with you. In the U.S., everyone uses credit cards, even for the small purchases. So if you're used to that, you can still do that in Japan. However, I still suggest you have some cash on you because you will still need to use that. Um, in the train stations, you will also still use your IC cards, though I have heard that they are trying to add the credit card payments to the gates instead of IC cards, because right now they have a chips shortage for the IC cards. So they're trying to expand to credit cards also right now. Though I don't know how that's going to work because with an IC card, generally the payment for that is deducted like very very quickly, like less than a second. But for credit cards, normally for credit cards, there's like a pause, right? Because it takes a little bit of time to contact the vendors and stuff like that, verify payment. So I'm not sure how that's gonna work. I feel like it's gonna be a little bit slower, and IC cards would still be preferred if possible. But I think if they can get the Google Pay, Apple Pay versions up and running, that'll be probably as fast as the IC cards. You know, just more convenience in general. So anyway, credit card got a little bit what do you call it? Distracted when I saw the credit card option here. Onsen credit card, bathing supplies provided. So in a normal Sento setting, you'll be lucky to get soap and shampoo provided. I know I went to one place where I had to like get those separately, but there are other places where like yeah, there's a community soap and shampoo and conditioner and all that stuff. So
I'm guessing that's rolled into the price, as well as the towels, as well as the bathrobes and stuff that you're going to be using while you're there. Free Wi-Fi. There's a lot more free Wi-Fi areas in general in Japan that was not used to be a thing. Still, though, if you have data, probably still use the data because the free Wi-Fi is finicky. COVID-19 measures in place. I'm not exactly sure what that means, but there's probably like a bunch of what do you call this? Hand sanitizers everywhere, which is their COVID-19 measures if it's not a physical barrier. Hotel robe available. Anyway, so this is what the inside looks like. This is what the inside looks like if you are curious, and it's basically pretty nice. They have like multiple different baths. One of them is the actual onsen water, which I think is has iodine in it, a little bit of iron and other stuff. But it's actual onsen water. And then there's another bath where it's like basically carbonated, I guess. It's like carbonated, and it's kind of fun when you go into it. The water's not very hot. It's like barely barely hot. But the water, like your body is basically covered in little tiny bubbles as if you're being like carbonated and stuff like that. It's kind of neat. Um and there's the my favorite part, the the jets, the basically like a jacuzzi, except you know the jets will actually hit parts of your body that will make you so relaxed, and holy crap, it's good for like a water massage and stuff like that. So they do have that. They also do have the, well, I guess they have the women's indoor, but they also have the outdoor bath, which has mixed results. Really bad on a rainy or windy day. I went once on a windy day. It was too cold up there, and it was so windy that the water was splashing everywhere and not really recommended. However, the water is also much hotter on the outside baths because it's you're outside, and it's better if the water is hotter if when you're outside. But they have also like these areas on the left where it's like very very shallow water, that's this where it's supposed to be lying down flat on your back, and uh like you see these little stone raising things on the side. That's basically where your head's supposed to lay down. Just keep in mind you're out here naked, lying down in really really shallow water, and the water's not that hot to be honest. So I'm not sure how relaxing that is, but you're out here naked, out in the elements, cold sometimes. And these seats over here, you can also just relax in them. Some people do that. But the waters out here are like super, super hot. That's what the bath area looks like. That's the onsen area. Hot spring type. Oh, they do mention here. Iodine containing high sodium chloride hot spring. Hypotonic, slightly alkaline. So the onsen water accidentally got into my mouth a couple of times because I was, whenever you try to do it in the onsen, you really, really want to submerge yourself up to like neck high typically, so that you get your whole body warmed up. And sometimes the water splashes, and the water splashed into my mouth, and it tasted very salty. It tasted very salty because of that iodine and the sodium chloride. Natural hot springs though, so they do regulate this. They can't just say it's a hot spring. So if they say it's an onsen water, it has to be onsen water. So you can be sure it's an onsen water. But they also have saunas. They have the regular sauna, which is super freaking hot. Holy crap. I think the sauna room that I went into was like 90 degrees Celsius. And I don't know how people do it. There's like a 12-minute timer that tells you you've been here for 12 minutes. You probably should get out. Um, but I barely lasted 5 minutes in the sauna, and depending on and like the sauna has multiple seating areas. You can probably see here. The higher you go on those seating area, the hotter it is. But I don't think matters that much, to be honest. It's all hot. It's all hot. What's even hotter though is that they have this medical steam room sauna. Please stop. Can I have you stop? So they have this medical steam sauna. That one's even worse. I don't know how some people even stay in there for longer than 1 second. Like it's very humid in there, given that it's a sauna, and also the herbs, the medical herbs that they have that fill the entire room is so suffocating. You can't breathe. I can't breathe. But there are some people that like that. For some reason. I don't know. It wasn't a pleasant experience. I just stepped in there, realized I couldn't breathe, and then I got out. The regular sauna I could at least do for 5 minutes. I can't even do 1 second in this thing. Nice for the experience, though. Nice for the experience. The really neat ones, though, are these hot stone saunas. I'm not exactly sure what the difference is between each room, but each room has like some sort of theme, like black germanium, lava stone, and rock salt. Basically, what you're supposed to do is put like a towel on the floor and also on the headrest because you don't want to get your sweat on either of those places. And you just lay down. You just lay down in mildly hot temperatures and relax. I think they mostly all hover around 40 degrees Celsius, which is about the same as the bath, but it's in the air instead. It's not suffocating though, it's just very slow, relaxing heat. And after you're all done, you go into the cold room, which is basically very high air conditioning. The air conditioning that you wish that was all around Japan, but isn't. It isn't. But this is probably one of the nicer sauna areas, a very low heat sauna that you're not supposed to be naked in. This the one place you're not supposed to be naked in. The sauna naked, though might help to have a towel. Um, Bath, of course you got to be naked for the bath. Hot stone sauna, no, not naked, not naked. This is communal. This is both men and women in here. So definitely not naked. And no, just nice relaxing time. All of that though for about 5,000 yen. I feel like it's a little expensive, but it's also in a really fancy place. But you know what? If the goal is just to relax, then I think it fulfills that purpose. I just feel like it's a little bit too expensive. Now they do have a dining area. Didn't try the dining area. That's a separate payment altogether. They also have vending machines all around the place, where you can get. They also have vending machines all over the place where you can get milk and such. They have the milk vending machine a little bit more full than what was in the what do you call it? What was in the capsule hotel. So you have chocolate milk and you have a bunch of vitamin C drinks, some yogurt drinks in here also. As I mentioned, no cameras, no electronic devices, no recording in the bath. Technically, they said when entering the baths, no cameras and stuff. But however, they didn't say specifically I couldn't have a camera in the dressing room, though it makes sense that you're not supposed to. I did a recording in the dressing room itself, okay? And I have to edit that a little bit because what I tried to do is I tried to open this milk. I tried to open this milk, and doing that one-handed was not very easy. So I dropped the milk bottle. Didn't spill anything, but I dropped the milk bottle during the recording, and kind of have to edit that part out. So maybe you'll see a little bit of that. Maybe you'll see a little bit of that. But you have okay. So, but before you enter the facility, there's the shoe locker, right? But inside the dressing room, you actually have the lockers for your clothes and other belongings. This is where they go. This is where they go, and you have a separate key for this. That's that's kind of neat. It's kind of neat. I think this was my first Sento style experience, so that was nice. That was nice. I also had some sukiyaki in the airport. I think the prices were fairly reasonable. Fairly reasonable, at least a lot cheaper than you would find in Kobe and definitely the US. But all you can eat for 90 minutes, 9,000, almost 9,000 yen specialty Kobe beef course. There's a Kobe beef course, mixed Kobe beef course. I think what we got was a Wagyu beef course, so not the Kobe one. Honestly, Wagyu beef course is pretty good already. You don't need the Kobe beef course, but they do have actual Kobe beef here. 5,800 with tax. It goes up to almost 6,005, which is not terrible, honestly. Very informative beef chart. And sukiyaki, so you can get sukiyaki or the shabu shabu, which is just the water basically. But I wanted a little bit more flavor, so sukiyaki. You have the soy sauce in here, and they start you out with some veggies and eggs. And you do have this menu, this electronic menu over here, where you can order all the stuff that you want. There's some free options and there's some non-free options. But it being all you can eat, everything is all the stuff that you would want to put into the hot pot is free, which is very very nice. And you have like two, I guess, pitchers here. Oh, I don't know what to call these. Anyway, there's like kelp stock and sukiyaki stock. So if you wanted to be a little bit more sweet and salty, you add more sukiyaki stock. If you wanted to be a little bit less salty, you add the kelp stock. That's basically what these two are. But they start you off with, I think, sukiyaki stock. And whatever you order, you have to order for everyone on the table, just like a regular Korean barbecue. No mixing order types. Everyone has to get the same thing. But what you get is pretty darn good. I'm not exactly sure how many grams there are in each tray of Wagyu here. I think it might be like 80 grams or something like that. So if you want to break even on your pricing, you probably might want to get like 4 or 5 of these per person. But they're like really thin really thin cuts of beef, but really good thin cuts of beef. And see the marbling. You don't need Kobe beef to get this. You really just don't need Kobe beef to get this. Just regular Wagyu is fine. You don't have to shell the extra money for Kobe beef, but this is pretty good already. Vegetables were also pretty good quality overall. And yeah, sukiyaki was really really nice. You can get some fancy mushrooms thrown in here, so fancy mushrooms are also expensive normally. So definitely get the fancy mushrooms. Definitely get as much beef as you can. Maybe don't get the negi. The negi takes a while to cook down, and they are very very strong in flavor. So maybe not get the negi, but get the fancy mushrooms. Get the beef. Get a lot of beef. Get all the other stuff that you want. I guess dumplings and fish balls are also okay, but honestly, was more like a wanted to try thing rather than actual should get. Got some udon noodles at the end, some ice creme puff, not cream puff, but creme puff. But for 2 people, all you can eat, 12,800 something yen. Let's convert that to USD. Let's say 150 divided by 150, 85 bucks. 40 bucks per person for all you can eat Wagyu? I think that's pretty good. I think that's pretty good. A little expensive, almost American pricing, but it's Wagyu. If you try to get Wagyu all you can eat in the US, you're going to be paying double this price. Easily double this price. And probably service not as good. Time remaining for your seat is 53 minutes. So you do have 90 minutes to eat in this place. And I think the last order is when there's 15 minutes left on the timer. So actually plenty of time. And we got pretty full, not even halfway through the ordering. So stay as long as you want for until you get kicked out. But if you're the type to get full pretty quickly regardless, or don't binge so much in one night, then that's not too bad. That's honestly not too bad. But let me just show you really quick what the capsules look like. This was my capsule. Um, Pretty roomy. It's not the old school capsule where it's like suffocatingly tight. I don't think I've been in any of those before, but I had to like be in a capsule one other time because there was a really really bad typhoon that was coming through, so I had to like hunker down in a capsule. This time though, it was voluntarily going into a capsule, but it was roomy enough for at least one giant backpack and one small backpack, I guess. One bag, one small bag. They just my bags just kind of like sat at the foot of the bed, which was still pretty roomy even considering all that, but you got a TV, you have charging ports. The air in here though was not very good. Like it didn't what it calls it didn't circulate very well. So that was one bad thing. That was one bad thing. And it was warm overall. You could not get this place to get cool enough to be that comfortable. But it was okay overall. It was okay overall. And then basically the setup is like a bunch of capsules here. You got your privacy screen so that you at least can get some privacy. I don't know if anyone was actually snoring that loudly, but this place is pretty open, so you're gonna if anyone snores, you're gonna hear it for sure. You're gonna hear it for sure. But for 1 or 2 nights, it's not bad. It's not bad. There are definitely some pictures out of order here because I was at the end of the day when I did this, as well as these. But these pictures in general were before going to the onsen, and I took this picture specifically because I wasn't expecting to see a tenga in the drugstore. Now condoms, that's not too unusual, right? Condoms in a drugstore, that's not too unusual. Birth testing strips and whatnot, that's not too unusual. But a tenga in the same section, not just one tenga, three tengas, even a pocket tenga. Like, what's up with that? You normally don't see this here. You don't normally see this here. So why is it here? I don't understand. I don't understand. But this was just basically out in the open, in the drugstore, which was interesting. Anyway, basically I walk through a bunch of what do you call this? Yokochos? Basically places where you have a bunch of shops in an alleyway. This isn't really an alleyway. There's more like a shopping area. But in this particular place, there were a bunch of daycares in this particular place, which I wasn't quite. I didn't quite expect. I didn't think daycares would be around this area, but there's like a bunch of daycares, or what is it? Yeah, I guess it would be daycares because they're not preschools or anything like that. They're not preschools or anything like that. But in the same area, you also have this, which was my first time seeing it. It's a vending machine area, but in the vending machine area, go to your mall for this one and specifically, is they have vending machine of real food. However, these real foods are not coming out of the vending machine fresh. Just keep that in mind. These are like frozen, and there's basically just a shopping area for pre-made food that you can bring home and cook at home. So there's a bunch of different stuff. They had some ramen, they had some fried rice, they had some curry and all that stuff. Bunch of different ones, specifically in this area. Look this place up. 24 hours apparently. If you just want to check out this place, and if you want to buy from it, even better. Um, and give that a try. But this area near Kichijoji, was it Kichijoji? I don't think it was Kichijoji. No, this was not Kichijoji. This was a different. This is a different area that I didn't expect to go to because I got off of the wrong stop, and it's like, okay, might as well just explore this place, see what's up. But I don't remember exactly where this was. Don't remember exactly where it was. I did eventually have to. So I wasn't in Tokyo for very long for that first part, but I did go to Yakushima right after a couple of nights in Tokyo, and on the domestic check-in for that is actually quite interesting. They have like a bunch of unmanned luggage check-ins. So basically, you put your luggage down, they weigh it and make sure it's right size and whatnot. And then if you're within your limits, they take it. They take it. And if you're over limit for whatever reason, um, then they won't take the luggage. And I think at that point you have to go to like the counter and see if they'll take if they'll allow you to like have over luggage and stuff like that. So it's a pretty interesting system. Also, just took some random weird stuff in the domestic airport, like kood, which is basically curry udon, but kood. They say curry udon over here. I don't think I've ever seen that shop name. Just sounds very, very hipstery. Airport drug. Of all the weird names you can put, they also had a Hokkaido souvenir shop where you can get a bunch of products from Hokkaido. And I wasn't expecting them to sell actual crab in the souvenir shop. So if you wanted to get actual crab, you can. It's already pre-cooked, it seems, but they're usually, I think, not overcooked like you would think some crabs are. But I don't think there's like that super expensive crab because they're selling it for like 1,728 yen per 400 grams of crab, which I don't know. I mean, this might be close to almost 1 kilo, maybe 2 kilos of crab, so maybe it might be a little expensive, but I mean, crab. And this also all before security, by the way. So there's a thing that I found out in Japan domestic flights. You can bring as many liquids as you can through security in the Japanese domestic flights. You can also bring as much fresh food and seafood, frozen food, through domestic flights, which is something you don't see in the US at all. Did get a few things. Did get a few things. I got some pumpkin cookies, which I don't think I ever got to try because left it accidentally on a train at one point. So never got to try that. Sad. Some kaki nuts and stuff like that. Some I love these specifically. I know not a lot of people like these, but I like these kinds of things specifically. Like the small crab that are like just basically coated in sauce and sugar and are hard as rock. Basically, you just kind of like munch on them. I like those. And the one of the Hokkaido specialties, tiny scallops with cheese on them. All individually wrapped because we got to keep the freshness. They're good though. They're really good though. Had some Yoshinoya before the flight because breakfast is apparently really hard to get in Japan. So you have to go to some chain restaurants to get them. So you can get like the gyudon with miso and egg, or you can get the curry at the Yoshinoya and the airport. And just because I could, I tried the Hokkaido milk soft serve ice cream, which is very milky. I don't think I've ever said that with ice cream at all, but it was very, very milky. But yeah, that was pretty neat. I also got to see Mount Fuji from above. Look at this over here, Mount Fuji from above. Still has a little bit of snow, but apparently it had a lot more snow up there compared to before. It was also very cloudy, so if you were at the bottom, you probably wouldn't be able to see this very easily, but there was a nice ring of clouds around Mount Fuji at the time that you can still see it a little bit from the top, which is neat, which is actually neat. Let's see. Yeah, went to Yakushima. Yakushima is basically this island down south of Japan, which is really hard to get to other than by plane and a ferry. And you have to go to Kagoshima, which is a different airport next to. Well, you have to go to this airport in Kagoshima, which is like near south. It's like south coastal Japan, and then from there you fly to Yakushima. And Yakushima doesn't really have a. I'm not sure why I took these pictures. Yakushima doesn't have a very big airport, so what you end up flying in is one of these propeller planes. And if you haven't been in a propeller plane before, they are very, very, very bumpy. Very, very bumpy, but it's like the only choice. The purple ice cream was pretty good. It's no ube, but it's still pretty good. But here's Yakushima Airport. Barely one terminal and barely even a building. You can kind of see how old the place is and how small it is. But this is basically all countryside. This is the baggage claim. This baggage claim. No carousels or anything like that. There's just a door where they deliver the luggage, and then if you see the luggage over here, you just grab it, basically. And right next to the baggage claim is the ticketing counter. Right there. It's really small, super small. And yet even in this small place there is still a locker. There's still a locker area. So that's kind of interesting. But yeah. So there's that. Did rent a house there for not too bad of a price, to be honest. I was there for about 4 nights, 5 days, and you get all this space. You get all this space, like the tatami room, really big tatami room. You also have a small living area over here also. The screen door over here at the right, that's the door going to the outside, but before the outside there's the genkan where you put your shoes and stuff like that. I don't know if I have a picture of that specifically, but here's the kitchen, which is a pretty nice sized kitchen and dining area. They do give you the stove, the pots and pans, so there was a little bit of cooking that was happening here also. Pretty decently sized refrigerator that you can buy groceries and put stuff there for the duration of your stay. So anytime you stay for a decent amount of time in one place, I would forego the hotel if you can and try to rent a house or at least an apartment hotel in Japan. Like, apartment hotels have been a thing, I think, since the last time I was there in 2019. And it's just a really nice homey place to come back into. It's a really nice homey place to come back into. What do you call this? At the end of the day. Hey, yeah, welcome. But yeah, like, make it feel like home. If you're gonna be in any one place for like 4 or 5 days a week, even, don't stay in hotel. Hotel is terrible for that. But if you have no option, then at least make it a good hotel, right? But this place in general, really nice. Super, super nice. Super nice. While we were here, we did have to sort the trash out there. So they did ask us to sort the cans, the bottles, the general trash. The general trash filled up very, very quickly, and I wasn't quite sure how to deal with it, but it was near the end of the last day, and I was able to, just make it work out somehow. And there's also a Roomba for whatever reason. Didn't even get to use a Roomba, but there was a Roomba. I was under the impression that the Roomba needed like a wireless connection or something, so I don't know how this would have worked. But they also have a vacuum cleaner in case, you know, you make a mess. Here we go, the old school bath with the metal tub. Really deep, by the way, really deep. But you have the shower, the faucet, old school bath in the countryside. Why not? That's really nice. They do give you a washing machine, but in some places when you have a washing machine in the rental, the wash is usually free. But they had us pay for this one, so that was something that was weird. Well, maybe not weird, but had to deal with that. No dryer, by the way. If you're used to having a dryer, there's no dryer. Would it not have been an issue without the dryer? But there was also no place to hang the clothes. Like normally, if you want to hang clothes, you have to have like some sort of backyard or a balcony where there's like a clothesline and stuff. We didn't really have that. Instead, what we had was a clothesline or a clothes rack, and there was a spot. There was a spot. I don't think I have a picture of it specifically. There's a spot here, around here, at the near the front of the place where you can open the screen doors and air will blow in. And if you open the curtains, maybe some sun will get in. I don't think sun ever got in through this part. In the back, it did, not over here. But you can hang your laundry over here, and hopefully the circulating air will be enough to dry your laundry. But if it's not, there is a laundromat, coin laundry, close to there, so that's also okay. These pictures are out of order. Google does not like how I do the pictures apparently. But Kagoshima, that is the place before Yakushima. And then there's also this really famous volcano next to Kagoshima called Sakurajima. And there's people that live down here. You see all this stuff that's happening down here in Sakurajima. Apparently there's also some houses and stuff nearer the center of the volcano. I don't know why you would want to do that, but there are. This volcano is very active, by the way. So I don't know why you would want to live right next to a very active volcano, but people do. People do. Got some pretty cute souvenirs here. Sakurajima key charms with volcanic ash or something like that. I don't know, but they do sell a little bit of that, and some doggies. And the mascot of their place apparently are these black pigs and cats with a sakura on it for Sakurajima, but both are used. Seems both are used. Just some random stuff around the airport. Mr. Ramen, I guess there's like some certain ramen people in the area, and this is what this is like, yeah, Mr. Ramen and stuff like that. Anyway, did a bunch of stuff in Yakushima, but the main thing in Yakushima, you guys probably have seen the videos on the channel already, which are the hiking videos, which I need to clean up a bit and put into the vlog channel. But before you can hike in Yakushima, you have to go to the Yakusugi Museum. And it's not really a museum per se. I think there was a museum, but seems like it was closed when I got there. There's this bus schedules and information all in Japanese. So it doesn't really help, except for this one. So you have to like ride a bus to get to the hiking trail. Because if you don't ride the bus to get to the hiking trail, it's going to be like hours to get there. With a bus, it's like 30-40 minutes if you walk. It's like 3 hours or something, and that's not fun. That's not fun. But it kind of tells you what to expect as far as times are concerned. The bus itself, this information is out of date. It's not 700 yen one way, it's 1,000 yen one way. And if you call for a taxi, it's at least 5,000 yen one way, which is pretty darn expensive. But if you can't wait for the bus or miss the bus, then taxi might be your only option. Might be your only option. Um, but the buses I think go up to 4 or 5:30 at latest. But past that, you're kind of on your own. They close pretty early. So if you can make it back, there are some huts in the forest where you can stay in to stay. From Arakawa Tozanguchi Trailhead to the Akushige Museum, the last bus is at 5:45 and you will arrive at 6:20. First bus is at 5 a.m., which is the one I took, and got there around 5:30. And then for some reason there's this giant gap between 5:40 and 2 o'clock for that bus. I'm not exactly sure why there's a giant gap, but I guess they want to limit the number of people who come onto the mountain, so they have like limited amount of times that they go up and down. And each bus, by the way, I think holds 40 people. So 1, 2, 3, at around 5 a.m. So at most around 120 people will be up on the mountain at any given time, or at least 120 hikers at any given time. And then if you want to stay on the mountain, then there is also that. There's also that, but you have to like make sure you have enough food with you, water, at least until you get to the huts, and then I think you can get water from the rivers around there, which is supposed to be clean. And any waste you produce must be taken back down with you. So if you have any like convenience store food, snacks, and stuff like that, if you eat them on the trail, the packaging cannot stay there. You have to take that down with you to preserve the environment. No trash allowed whatsoever. Also, pooping. This has to be mentioned. Pooping. Where's the pooping information? Well, here's part of the pooping information. If you have to take a dump on in the forest, you must take that poop back with you. That is a requirement. And to do that, you have to buy these toilet kits, disposable toilet kits, and dispose of them in these really old bins on when you come back down. Now, for some people, that might not be an issue. You might have like really bad constipation. You might not be able to poop anyway. But if you have a regular bowel movement, that might be an issue. So just keep that in mind. And basically, what it kind of looks like is that this green bag that you put on top of it basically as toilet seat, and then you poop into it, and then you pack it up, and you had to find a space in your backpack for it, or a separate plastic bag, and take it with you on the way out. Like it's kind of like you know how you pick up poop after your dog, or at least supposed to pick poop after your dog. It's the same thing, except it's your poop and not the dog's poop. That's kind of what it looks like. That's kind of what it looks like. But yeah, let's see. Lots of decent amount of parking space. There's going to be a lot of people and stuff. There is a museum next door to the bus stop. The bus stop. Let's go back a little bit. They have this ticket area where you can get the tickets for the next day or whenever you decide to go. Um, but the tickets you have to like exchange for a boarding pass, which doesn't make too much sense, but okay. And that's how you decide when you get on the bus or not, or they let you on the bus or not. But on the in Yakushima itself, they have like spiders everywhere. So if you have a little bit of arachnophobia or scared the spider's gonna get you, don't worry. They're pretty harmless as long as you don't touch the webs and stuff. But on the way to the trail, you might see a cafe, Tama Cafe, um, open from 11:30 to 6, and they close down. Especially during the fall when the lights go out by like 5 p.m. Holy crap! But it's a nice little cafe. It's a nice little cafe, Tama Cafe, where they serve coffee, tea. I think they also have some food in here. Decor inside is pretty nice. I think they have some events once in a while, but I'm not exactly sure. Lots of stuff here. Coffee, decaf coffee, latte coffee, mostly coffee. All coffee beans are roasted in Yakushima Island. Well, that kind of makes sense, but where do you get the beans from? Where do you get the beans from? Anyway, it's a nice place. It's a nice place to just kind of sort of relax a little bit after exploring a little bit. And there's a bunch of beaches around Yakushima Island. I mean, it's an island, right? But not all the beaches are you can swim in. I think this is like one of the beaches where you can't swim in. It's just basically super rocky. But apparently there used to be places around here that you can just hang out, have a party in, but they look so dilapidated. No, it doesn't look that dilapidated. They look abandoned. So I don't know if you would want to have a party here. And this picnic area in the back, it's netted off even. So it's like they're kind of telling you, no, you can't really hang out. You can't hang out around here anymore. If you were able to before, you cannot. But they still have restrooms here. I don't think these are locked. I didn't try opening them, but they do have restrooms at least. You just can't really hang out around here. Harutahama Beach. Emergent coral reefs. Coral reefs appear below low tide and many coral fish and shellfish can be seen in tidal pools. I didn't see any of that, but apparently that's what this place is. So you basically just try to not harm the environment, touch anything. Do not consume alcoholic beverages before or while swimming. Not that you would swim around here, but you could, I guess, in this area if you really, 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 really wanted to. But it's also rocky. There's no sand whatsoever in this place. Not the best place to swim, if you ask me. But it is a nice place to just kind of look out in the ocean, relax, and just think about nothing for a really, really long time. But I don't think I'd swim here. Personally, I wouldn't swim here. It's really pretty though. Super pretty. But here are the tidal pools. I don't think I saw any coral fish or shellfish or anything like that. But these are neat. These are neat areas to take a look at, and there's a lot of volcanic rocks around because maybe there was a volcano here at some point. Well, I mean, all islands came from volcano, but really jagged, so you got to be careful. Super careful. Hey, cats, welcome. How's it going? I'm just kind of going through some pictures right now, explaining stuff that happened. I'm gonna be making videos of these eventually, and posting up in the vlog channel. But for now, we're just gonna go a little bit. I'm gonna go a little bit longer. I do need to sleep soon. I was also. I'm not sure if I mean, were you one of the people earlier that tried to drop by and it's like, oh no, he's not live. I fell asleep. I fell asleep for over an hour because I'm still jet lagged. Apparently, I'm recovering out of it, but and I thought I was okay since yesterday, but apparently not. Apparently not. I did set up an alarm though. To my defense, I set up an alarm and it did wake me up. But I went back to but I was like still super sleepy that I went back to sleep and may have accidentally turned off the alarm. And you know, we are here in this situation right now. But it's okay. We still get to go over it. Anyway, I'm gonna try to go through this really quick in the next 20 minutes, and then details will come in a video later. But basically, Yakushima, the main thing I did around there was a bunch of hiking and exploring of the island. There's like some nice beaches um, that you can swim if you want to, and there's places where you don't really want to swim in. And then there's this one guy in a really broken up pier that you're not really supposed to be at. That's fishing. This guy. This guy is fishing at a supposedly not safe place, but you know, it's a thing. And also found a what do you call this? I found a shrine that kind of looks like it could be a Chilla Arts game. Basically, to get to the shrine, you have to like drive up a mountain, a one-car road mountain that's pretty treacherous to go up and down on, especially down, or especially if you're on the side that's, you know, that could end up falling down a cliff. That's really bad. But the once you get here though, you're kind of treated to a place that kind of looks like it might be an Chilla Arts game. It looks abandoned, but there's definitely still stuff over here. Normally you would use the water to purify yourself before going in, but the water, as clean as might be, probably not the safest to use for the usual purification stuff, so did not even try. Did not even try, but yeah, these bottles and stuff still looks pretty new. It doesn't look abandoned, but this shack over here, this shack right before the actual shrine itself is, I think, abandoned. There was no one here. There was no one here, but this is still very much still intact, and these plaques with the random writings on here, it does seem like it might belong in a horror movie if it was dark enough. Seem to grow a bit when traveling. Yeah, yeah. We're basically gonna be like this from now on. Well, the initial idea was to grow up, so to say, after the trip, and that was a story. When the trip, a lot of time has passed, and now we're grown up. Yeah, basically, basically. But no, the other thing is, it takes a really long time for Live 2D to be rigged and stuff, especially if you have one person rigging and they have a lot of people they have to go through first, and you're kind of on a wait list. So that takes a while. So I figured in the meantime, I really want to change my content. I really want to shift the tone of the channel, and to do that, we have to come back after the trip a little bit different. And so here we are. Here we are. I don't know how the voice fits the image that you're seeing right now, but it will be. It's not gonna be any too different from what I used to do. Maybe a little bit lower tone than what I used to do. But I'm definitely gonna bring the old man. I'm definitely gonna bring the old man vibes quite a bit more than normal. Than normal anyway. Anyway. So yeah. Yeah. But yeah, Yakushima's pretty nice. But I mean, here's the thing about the shrine: you have to go down steps for the shrine to get to the shrine. But you have to climb all the way back up to to get to where the parking area is. So going down, really, really easy. Going up, oh my gosh. And the thing is, you can see the shrine all the way from the beach that's next door, but there's no obvious path to this. Like there's a pier here. You would think that you can use the pier to get to the shrine. No, you can't do that. You can probably take a boat to get there, but you can't use the pier to get to the shrine. You have to like go up the mountain and then go back down the mountain. And I gotta wonder about the people that make these random shrines in random places. Why do they do this? Why do you put shrines in random places? However, the scenery around the shrine is pretty nice. Rocky, oceany, lots of mountains. Uh, Also drove around a little bit around Yakushima. This is supposed to be a map of what the area looks like, but you can't see anything on the map. It's so faded, you can't see anything, which is fine because you really can't see anything here anyway. This is the uh, East China Sea. I think East China Sea Observatory is what they call this. And you can see pretty far part into the island, and you can also see pretty far out over here. I don't know whose island that is out there, Japan's or China's, I can't really see, but this supposedly East China Sea. And it just ocean everywhere. Ocean everywhere. Probably really nice in the sunset, which is why you would want to be here. But in daylight, you just see ocean and a volcano, which is not Sakurajima. I don't know which volcano this one is, but it's a different volcano than Sakurajima from earlier. And there's not much of a parking area. You have this strip of road that you can just kind of like stop your car in, and that's it. Now, I did drive around Yakushima, and I will mention that Yakushima is not a terrible place to drive. However, it is a really tight place to drive. So you around Yakushima, you have this one main road that goes all the way around the island. And if you want to drive all the way around the island, it's going to take you about 3 hours, I want to say. Driving around the entire island is about 3 hours. And to get from most places is anywhere from 15 to 30 minutes. And you can only travel on this road. Up the road, down the road. That is it. That is it. The road isn't that small, thankfully, but you'll see a lot of cars around here, especially not in Japan in general. You'll see a lot of cars that are a little bit skinnier than your typical North American or European cars. Definitely fits to the road. The cars are small because the roads are small. At least that's what I think it is. But this is the main road. That is the road throughout the entire island, and it curves, goes through tunnels, and if you go up the mountains, you end up getting into like one car lane roads, which is kind of dicey, not gonna lie. The one car lane roads are kind of dicey, especially because how do you deal with it when you go up a mountain and someone wants to come down and there's only one lane? How far do you back up? How far do they back up? If they back up, who gives a right of way? I don't know any of that, but I had to do that on a mountain a couple of times, and that wasn't great. The car though that I had specifically, maybe this isn't the best picture. We'll skip ahead a little bit. Skip a little bit ahead a little bit. Now let's talk about this now. I did the rental car I had was interesting. It's an automatic car. I think most cars in Japan are automatic anyway. But you see this drive stick? You see how small this drive stick is? That's not even a stick. That's like what do you call that? A drive bumper? But it's like it works like a regular drive stick, but it's so small. I don't exactly know why. They're not all like this. I had to get another car because I got a flat tire on this one. And that one felt a little bit more normal than this. But the start stop button, that is your ignition. This thing goes forward and reverse and neutral. And the forward has like three drive modes: eco, sport, and normal. Normal is what you would expect. Eco stops if you stop um, pressing on the gas, which I feel like shouldn't be a thing because it kind of stops abruptly. And sport, I think, is like increased horsepower or something. Not that much. Not that you have that much horsepower on this to begin with, but it is a thing. What I did like though is that you get like a cup holder here up front, and that's where I put the GPS. Now, keep in mind, uh, most cars like this do have a GPS already built in. But I tried using the GPS, and it's so hard to use a GPS. Not because it's like hard to type in anything, but what you're trying to look for is really, it doesn't come up, or at least it doesn't come up the way I expect it to come up. So to get around that, I just use Google Maps. I just use Google Maps, and that works just fine for me. Like, if you can't figure out the GPS system, what's the point of even having it on the car? I don't even know. I don't even know. But yeah, it was an interesting drive. I got used to driving pretty easily, pretty quickly. I did also have so this is the stuff, the food I packed before going on the hike. You kind of had to like prepare the food, get some water. You need all that stuff. Let me just tell you, this is not enough food for an overnight, for a hike. And if you want to stay overnight in a hut, you need like double the amount of this. And maybe get rid of the calorie mate. We like to meme on calorie mate because of Metal Gear Solid and stuff like that. And it is, it'll get you going. 400 calories per package. Not package, but the per two sticks. Each stick is like 200 calories or something. Densely packed calories. But you would need at least double the amount of this. So we have like calorie mate, sandwich, hamburger from a grocery store, which was actually not too bad. It's kind of like a really small McDonald's burger. That's basically what it reminded me of. Onigiri. Onigiri is probably your best friend on any hike because it's so compact and um, so dense, but also is actually tasty. And you can't really see it in this bag, but there's some karage in here. 10-piece karage, which wasn't that good by the time I got to it. But you know what? If you're hungry and really, really tired, you'll take anything. You'll take anything. This is the car, by the way. The front of the car. And you see how small this parking garage is? Really hard to park into. Really annoying to park into. I normally, whenever I park, I usually park like front first into a parking lot, but this one, you kind of have to like park backwards because the sensors make it so much easier to park backwards than it is to park forwards. You know what I mean? The sensor to this car is also super annoying. It beeps at you as soon as you get close to anything. And considering how small this parking garage is, it beeps at me like constantly, and I did not like it. I did not like it, but at least the place is nice. Yakusugi House. If you ever want to check a place out in Yakushima, this a Yakusugi House. Rent a whole house for yourself. Pretty reasonable price for a 4 night stay. Pretty good area. Maybe not a whole lot of food in the immediate area, but if you drive down enough, you can find a Hotomoto, which you can get a bunch of prepared bentos, really good prepared bentos for a pretty good price. Also, a couple of grocery stores are nearby. Restaurants might need some reservations in some places, but in other places you don't really have to. This is the backyard, by the way, which we really didn't have direct access to. And the backyard is basically a vegetable garden. And there's a lot of this in the countryside. A lot of that in the countryside, which is nice to look at. There is a bike area here that if you want to use a bike to go around, you can do that. I don't know how to ride a bike, so um, I didn't take advantage of this. There is so and there's this tiny little box here in the bike parking lot. That's supposed to be the dryer, but it's a really tiny dryer. So didn't do that. They did have a second parking garage. It was a little bit wider, but also shorter. I did end up using this eventually because the other one was like way too narrow, super narrow. And supposedly we could also park in front of this really old, maybe abandoned warehouse. I don't know why. I didn't end up taking that option, even though it would probably made sense. But the thing is, it would also be kind of tight to go in from the other side. But yeah, this is the area around the place I stayed. Really small, one road. Um, yeah, one car road over here. Cell phone tower because you kind of need it. The mountains, the interior mountains of the island were also really nice. You can see that all over there. This is the main road. This is the main road on the island. I think the speed in general around here is like 40 to 50 kilometers per hour, which is not very fast. Not very fast. 40 kilometers in US, that is what is that? 24 miles per hour. And 50 kilometers is 30 miles per hour. Think about it. Driving 24 to 30 miles per hour on a main road, and you have to do, and it takes 3 hours around the island to get around the island because of that. Honestly, you don't need to go fast. You do not need to go faster than that. You really don't. And because of those slow speeds, if you get into an accident, the accident's not going to be too severe. Because as soon as you get to 40 miles per hour or higher, and you get into an accident, that gets really bad. You don't want that. And there's also a really small island, so slow speeds are fine. Slow speeds are fine. Take it easy. Get used to the car. Get used to the new driving environment. Keep in mind, Japan drives on the left side of the road, and you are on the right seat in the car. So lots of things to get used to in that case. But that is the main road, and that kind of wraps all throughout the entire island. There are some big-ish parking spots here, but they're still kind of small in the grand scheme of things. Here's the Hatomoto. Hatomoto, my favorite place in Yakushima. If you have no other place to get food, they have all the convenience of prepared meals. Get all your drinks here. Probably one of the more modern places in Yakushima. But the meals are. Can we see the meal prices here? Not really, but you can kind of see they have a bunch of different bentos. Uh, all I think between 6 to 800 yen. 6 to 800 yen, which is pretty good for what you get. If you try to get this in the U.S., I think each of these bentos were going to cost you easily upwards of $8 to $10, which is more expensive than this is. Way more expensive than this is. But this is like you go to Hatamoto, you get a few bentos. Sometimes if you want, you can get their specials like the Black Angus beef bento, which did not get. Which if you did get this, it would just be like thin strips of beef over rice and a few mushrooms, and then you have a lot of rice. But typically what you end up with is something like this. This is all from Hatomoto, I believe. Yes, this is all from Hatomoto. And you can get onigiri Hatomoto, and you have the rice, the top and the toppings, the usual bento stuff that you would get from a grocery store. And if you can get bento from a grocery store, probably cheaper, but also probably smaller. So it's kind of a give and take. Honestly, it's kind of like a give and take. But this is pretty good. That's pretty good. And you can't really see the curry because my big head is in the way. But we got curry over here on the side. Katsu curry. We got some fish and rice. More fish, steamed vegetables. The spaghetti with the other stuff. I think they come with salad, or maybe we got the salad separately. But yeah, there's like little salad things and some soup stuff. All pretty good, actually. All pretty good for a reasonable price. Anyway, before you can hike in Yakushima, you have to get like tickets for the bus, right? And it's I think if you pay out of pocket, it's 700 yen. But if you get the ticket, it's 1,000 yen, and so it's basically discounted 200 yen each way, which is kind of nice, which is pretty nice. And you're given the bus schedule just in case you need to do that, and some climbing etiquette stuff. And you do get somewhat kind of sort of a map of what to expect and like timetables and stuff, but the map is not very useful because the the trail is fairly linear, so there's really no reason to have the map unless you want to know where you are, what the landmarks are, where's the next toilet, where's the next rest stop, and how long is it going to take for me to get there. So I got all the way to Wilson Stump, which is basically a giant stump. Um, before you get to Jomonsugi, which is the actual tree, which I didn't get to. But from the trailhead to Wilson Stump, they estimate that it would take 50, 40. Let's see, that's 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, they estimate about 3 hours from the trailhead to Wilson Stump. That was not the case. I think it took me 4 hours to do that. It took me 4 hours to walk 5, 8, 10 kilometers or something. I don't know. It was long. It was a long trip. It says trolley to railroad 8.1 kilometers from the beginning to where you had to start climbing stairs and stuff, and that's probably accurate. It's probably accurate. I don't know. I felt like I walked 11 kilometers total that day, but I may have walked closer to 16 or 20. I am not exactly sure. But you've probably seen the videos on the channel, at least some of the videos. But this is basically what it looks like when you board the bus. It's 5 a.m., close to 5 a.m. Everyone's getting ready. Everyone's getting their first foods and stuff, getting in line for the bus. Lots of places here to sit down, but you have to line up for it, as well as get boarding tickets with your bus tickets. For some reason, you have to exchange that. I guess this is how they keep track on how many people are on the bus and how many they can let on the bus at one time. So that's probably why they do this. And then once you're on the bus, it's not bad. It's a quiet ride through the dark for about 30-40 minutes. Because I mean it's 5 in the morning, so it's gonna be dark. Unless it's summer. In the summer, Japanese summer is very weird in that the sun comes up around 4 in the morning. So this won't be as dark. in the summer, but in the fall it is pitch dark, super dark. And eventually you get to the bus stop on the other end, and you can do all your preparations here. They have some hand sanitizers for some reason. I'm not exactly sure why. Maybe preparations and whatnot. Information in case you need to get off the mountain. Warnings: don't feed the animals and stuff like that. This is a lot lighter than what it was at the time. This is just camera, just this is just the camera getting as much light as possible and showing you everything that you could. But it's super dark. Okay, it's super dark. The only way you're gonna see anything around here is if you have a headlamp or um, or these lights all the way up here. But highly recommended headlamp if you're hiking in the dark, for obvious reasons. You don't want to be holding anything except for maybe a hiking stick, and you don't really want to be holding a hiking stick and a flashlight at the same time. A headlamp is better, definitely much better. However, this is the first bridge that you have to cross, and thing is, this is what the camera picked up. This is not what I saw. This is not what I saw. What I saw were these planks here in the middle. And when the light shone on the planks, I saw gaps at the edges. I did not see that there were other planks on the other side of the gaps. I also did not see that there were these railings on the side. So imagine my fear crossing this bridge, this really, really long first bridge, and all I saw were these planks in the middle, and hearing water very far down rushing in the dark. And I am not good with heights. I was scared. I was scared, but I wanted to go on this hike, so I forced myself to cross this bridge, not knowing what this looked like. No, not knowing that it looked like this when I first crossed it, and I thought it was going to be super treacherous, and it was in some points. Honestly, it was in some points. But there's another bridge after this, and basically the entire trail, most of the majority of the trail is going to be like this: railroad tracks with planks in the middle that's easier to walk on than the ground, for sure, 100%. But the walking space on the tracks is like just enough for 2 feet. There's not a whole lot of spaces. And then these are the ones that can kill you. These are the ones that I feel like if I didn't get good enough footing, I'd be dead. I would actually be dead. I don't know how far down that is. I don't know how far down that is down there, but if I fell, there's no railings, probably heavily injured, and if I got heavily injured, how the heck would I get up? I didn't have any whistle to let people know I needed help, so have a whistle, have an emergency whistle if something goes wrong, so that you can alert people. And yeah, this is treacherous. But thankfully it was light already by the time you get here, so you're not gambling with your footing as much. But it's still very intimidating to see this, just a plank with nothing on the side and rocks and water at the bottom. So yeah, there's definitely a couple of places like this, and you probably saw videos of it. But hiking through Yakushima is pretty neat overall. If I had to do it again, I probably wouldn't be as scared, but I would definitely still be very, very cautious, especially in parts where you have this kind of bridge where it's like, holy crap, I do not want to do that again. But kind of have to if you want to get to the goal. And this bridge in particular, maybe not, yeah, that's probably this bridge in particular. This one's also a super long bridge, and if you look out to the side, there's like a really nice scenery, giant boulders, water, and all that stuff. But holy crap, so glad they had the railings here, because if you fell, giant rocks, you fall on giant rock, you die, you absolutely die. But I still don't like it that they didn't cover the entire bottom of the bridge though. They only have enough space for your feet, and then for some reason planks on the side, I guess so that you don't fall through that. But if you trip, you would still get stuck a little bit in these holes, and that's still not great. Would you, if you maybe somehow slip just badly enough, actually fall through the gaps down here? It's possible, definitely possible. But it's like, it's definitely scary for especially for someone who has a fear of heights. But yeah, the trail is mostly like this. The trail is mostly like this, where it's like trees, maybe some slopes on the side that if you fell, could really get hurt at. And there is another path over here that you could hike from or to, depending on depending on which way you wanted to do. And this is probably the area where you would, if you've seen Princess Mononoke, that's the area you would associate it with. But yeah, I just put a lot of bridge pictures in here because I want to emphasize how scary these bridges are, or what these bridges look like. So in case you ever want to hike around here, you know that this is probably one of the worst things you will run into, these bridges. Otherwise, the actual trail itself isn't bad. Actual trail itself isn't bad. It's actually quite nice. Though I would suggest to do the trail with someone because it can get really, really lonely hiking this. And I was pretty much hiking alone. There were some groups I ran into, but they were much faster than me. So, because they were much faster than me, usually the slower person goes off to the side, let the faster people pass, and then you go back on the trail. That's kind of how it works. That's the etiquette over there anyway. But it's really a nice place, and I just kind of want to show you how rocky it is if you somehow slip and fall. Not exactly a good place to slip and fall, but this is really a really nice place to hike. I will probably do it again just so I can get to Jomonsugi because that was the thing. This is the part where you pretty much hike up really, really, really steep stairs and rocks before you get to Jomonsugi. But you can also like go around here and check out some other things. Eventually, though, I did get to Wilson Stump after going through some really, really rocky areas, and holy crap, that was a terrible. That really killed my knees. And I don't think this picture shows just how bad the trail actually is. These are their actual rocks, by the way, that you have to climb up. Footing, what footing? Rocks, plenty of rocks. Hiking stick, very much recommended. I did not have one. I wasn't used to using hiking sticks, but if I do this hike again, I would definitely do it with hiking sticks. It just seems like the smarter thing to do and easier on your knees and feet. So definitely recommended. Wilson Stump, though, I think is the remains of a giant cedar tree, giant cedar tree, and it's just a stump with a giant hole in the inside. But it's a big landmark right before you get to the main tree with its Jomonsugi, which is a 7,000-year-old cedar. However, I did not get there. This is as far as I got. because I wanted to go back the same day, and I wasn't sure if I'd make the last bus the same day if I went all the way to Jomonsugi, because I would be. It took me forever just to get here, and the road is very very rocky. Going down is a lot easier than coming up, obviously, but yeah, lots of mushrooms. Took a bunch of pictures of a lot of mushrooms, a lot of moss, and random stuff, but mainly mushrooms and weird things. Like, I don't know what you would think if you saw this out in the distance, but it could look like a yokai or a person covered in grass and stuff, and that's kind of what it looked like to me. So I took this picture. Kind of has that feeling where it could be like a person or something coming out of the ground. And it's really really hard to see what the heck is going on here besides dead leaves. But I want to zoom in a little bit. I saw this really really tiny spider that was crawling all around the grass. I'm not sure what kind of spider this is, but this is like one of those things where it's like, wow, I wouldn't have seen that if I didn't look closer. And you can kind of see it a little bit clearer here, but this is Google Photos after all, so the compression's still not great. But I want to choose to look here, this spindly little thing. That's just really neat. There are some rest areas like this one along the way, so that you're not just like sitting down at a random part of the trail. But yeah, I mean, the bridges are scary. Even if they have rails on the side, they're still pretty scary for me. But eventually, when you make it back, it's great. It's like you're safe again. And I did like a solid 28,000 steps that day. I think it went up to 29,000 by the time I got back to the place. And 12:30, not a bad time, from 5:30 to 12:30, so about 7 hours. If I actually went all the way to Jamunsugi, I think it would have taken me. I think probably would have been back close to 5, and I think that would have been way too long, and I probably would have missed the bus back, honestly. So probably would, if I got to Jomonsugi, I would have hung out at the hut and stay there overnight before coming back the next day. But I was so tired, so not really that hungry, but I was tired and really needed something as a pick me up. So the karage that I had with a really really soggy cardboard box, that was nice. It was too salty though, way too salty. The lemon juice kind of helped. The spice didn't help them too much, but just eating the karage and was good. But yeah, this was the area at the bus stop when it's like broad daylight. Everyone's just kind of like waiting around, done after the hike. Lots of You're reminded you're in the mountains, and everyone's just kind of like doing their own thing, pretty much just waiting around. And just thankful that everyone got through in one piece, because holy crap, that was really really rough. Anyway, I could keep going. I probably should stop here though for today. Um, just wanted to give you a quick report as far as what's happened. Though I think I went into too much detail in certain things. I will try to make the pictures available for anyone who wants to see them individually. I'll make an announcement. I'll make an announcement in the community tabs. Have the albums and stuff ready. We're not quite there yet, but I'll do that. And what I am planning to do, eventually though, is make videos of the trip itself, with using pictures and some videos. I do have some video, not a whole lot, but I have some video. And I'll be making videos of that, putting in the vlog channel, and you can see it there. And I'll make announcements in the community tabs here. And I don't, because I'll be making videos in the coming weeks. I don't think I'll be streaming as much. We'll try to shoot for, at the very least, one stream a week, just to just to catch up and talk about stuff. But I might do 2 streams a week at most for until I'm done with all the videos. And probably won't be a whole lot of gaming streams. At least I don't feel like I'll be able to do many gaming streams. It's going to be mostly talk streams that I'm going to be doing for a while, as well as photo editing, maybe some video editing while doing and then talking at the same time. We'll start up the mahjong again next week. We'll go back with the mahjong, and we'll also try some snacks that I had gotten. Really quick, we can skip to the loot section. We'll skip to the loot section. I got some decent random amount of loots. Got some calendars from the 100 yen shop, some snacks, some furikake and local items from Yakushima and Kagoshima. This one. Got some random towels because they look nice. Some fancy ramen which I kind of want to cook on stream. Manju, some manju and curry. Kuro, mentaiko, and squid ink curry. That'll be interesting to try to do. So we'll try that. Some more snacks to try. Some stories about these random stuff that I got. Random plateware and silverware. More snacks, more ramen to try. I don't know if I'll review all these ramen on stream or review them at all. But just know I got some fancy ramen, I got some fancy snacks. We'll definitely check out some of them. Definitely check out some of them. I also took a picture of the stuff I had left over from my sick days, so I went to an onsen that day to hopefully help with the sickness, and it kind of did help. It was nice being in the hot water. Also interesting to see the medicine and stuff. The Eurocamp stuff, I had to get the Eurocamp stuff. My questionable purchases would have to be this this bath bucket that they were selling at Akiba at Radio Kaikan. It's like, why would you sell this? But at the same time, I remember that the bath bucket was also in some places, in some hotels in Japan, specifically Dormy Inn. Dormy Inn, at least the one in Ikebukuro, has a My Hero Academia bath bucket. So that was interesting. It just so happens this one in particular is Eurocamp Rinchan. So I got that. I have that. I was planning to do a little bit of a hand cam today too, but that didn't happen. I did a bunch of gacha. We're gonna be looking into the gacha at some point, because I did get a lot of them, and there were some pretty interesting gachas to check out. I also got a bunch of stickers on my favorite place in the world, B side label stickers. B side label. They have multiple locations, by the way, if you ever want to check them out. But I kind of like collecting these. I do use some of them also. And a bunch of groceries, because why not get a bunch of groceries while you're in Japan when they're cheap? And there's definitely going to be some stuff here that we're going to also try on stream. Tickets and such, driver's license, what do you call it? Driver's license, the Shinkansen tickets. Not as many Shinkansen tickets this time as I used to have. And I think in the future when I visit Japan, there's not going to be as many Shinkansen tickets then either, because we probably have mentioned this before, but the rail pass has gone up in price quite a bit, so it's not as worth it anymore to get the rail pass. But you can still get the individual Shinkansen tickets, and you might not be losing too much by buying those separately. And a lot of people are going to be, I guess, a little bit more conservative on the the Shinkansen rides and stuff like that. I did find out that the domestic air travel is pretty darn good, so I do recommend that, at least for longer longer travel over the trains. Like, trains are nice, I like the trains, but sometimes you want to save more time, and for the cost and time, maybe a plane is better, especially like, say, going from Tokyo to Fukuoka. That's about 7 hours, 6 or 7 hours by Shinkansen, not but only 1 hour by flying. So you save a lot of time. Price might be roughly about the same, so it's not that big of a deal. And then if you go from Tokyo to Sapporo, let's say, that's definitely a solid 8 hours. Definitely better off using going on a plane than using the train there. Train is nice and scenic, though. I did find out going from Tokyo to even Hakodate is a lot of tunnels, and holy crap, I think I lost my hearing during all those tunnels that I was awake for. So just FYI, just FYI. Maps of places I went to, all the Kit Kats, which I've eaten some of this all already. There are some Kit Kats we will review, though. There are some Kit Kats we'll review, especially the ones we haven't had before. So yeah. Also, I got some snacks from the VTube people. British snacks here. The British candies are actually really good. The British candies are actually really, really good, especially these gold bars. Those are really nice. I haven't opened this fish one yet, though, so we're gonna see what that's about. And guys, my change that I had left over, all the money I had left over after the trip, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 3,500 yen in coins, which is, I think that'll be still okay for the next time. Anyway, I'm going to end it here for today. Thank you all for coming. Thank you all for listening. I know I didn't go through as much as I wanted, and probably not as much of the trip as you would like to hear. But I'll be talking more about Japan stuff in the coming weeks. I'll also be making videos, more detail stuff about each day and such like that. Yeah, I just took way too many pictures. I took way too many pictures. And that's just something that's just something I have to deal with. And we'll definitely, what do you call this? Talk more about that in the future. We'll talk more about that in the future, as well as, what do you call this? We'll talk more about that in the future, as well as, just in general. In general, more travel stuff, more Japan stuff, you'll probably find on this channel. And once I'm done with making all the videos I need to make for the vlog channel, then we'll put gaming back on the menu, or at least whenever I find a game I really, really want to stream, we'll sneak that in the middle of stuff. But I'm going to be talking about this for weeks at least. So please bear with me when we get through that. But for now, I'll be sorting these pictures out into albums so you can look at these yourselves on your own time. I will also be making videos and putting it on the vlog channel so that there's more of a story to it. There's more of a story to it, and then we don't have to be cramming everything into a 3-4 hour stream, because there's a lot to talk about. And there's just way too much to talk about. I feel like I could make a whole series just on the trip itself. Anyway, thank you all for coming. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. I'm gonna go now, and since my stream deck is not working as well as I would like it to be, we're just gonna end here. All right, everyone. See you later. Bye bye.